Bang. Round one. Fight.
Hello, hello, hello. Just making sure. Oh, there we go. That's a little loud. That's a little loud there, ain't it? That's a little, yeah, that was a little loud there, wasn't it? There we go. What's up, what's up? There you go. Lunar Fox. I was like, who the hell's knocking? No, no one's knocking. It's just Lunar Fox. Well, not no one. It's not, it's just Lunar Fox. It's not no one, it's just Lunar Fox. What's up, what's up, what's up? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So, today we're doing, well, we're doing several things. We're going over, yeah, Riku Tazumi in this one. We're going over the things that we had mentioned before, which is this one. The new stuff, the new stuff, the new stuff. Yes! I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I stream mornings and afternoons. That may change eventually, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I stream morning and afternoons. Every other day, I stream only afternoons. So, it's a little bit of in between. If you were here for the early one, I'm going to go over new stuff first, so you guys can get the new stuff and won't have to go through all the old stuff in order to get the new stuff, you know, to at least give you guys a chance to get some new stuff. So here we go first. This here is just a bit of a commentary. Of course, as commentaries happen, commentaries can happen all the time. In this case, it is about Fulgur Ovid, who, as far as I know, in the last at least year or so, he has not had any kind of negative stuff happening against him. I know he had that thing where they made fun of Hololive Myth, Hollow Myth, early on, but that makes sense because they were, you know, it was a competition, that kind of stuff. So that's still not good, still never good, but it can be a little bit more understandable. But so far, as I've seen in the recent months, he hasn't had anything, especially not since the whole Nijisanji DMCA started imploding in on itself. None of that stuff. But he also does have 173 in his Resident Evil Village playthrough. He does have 173 people in his Resident Evil Village thing, and that is definitely something that is not expected for a Nijisanji person. It is not expected for someone in all this space. It says, what's the point of joining Nijisanji when even small corpos are mogging on you with 2 finanas? And for here is the one right here. Gossip Faith, TGP, TDD, PSSP, whatever. The Holy Trinity, Chapter 1. Mayu from Phase Connect is going harder than them. Phase is not small anymore. He was even mogged by Pixel Link girls playing Phasmophobia earlier. YouTube bugged out because I saw as low as 5 views. Yeah, YouTube is bugging out. YouTube has been bugging out for a while. I'm not on my end because I'm always a low view. I'm always a low view person. But on the end of Nijisanji, I think it might be a YouTube issue. Which, you know, if it is, then that's, you know, it's gonna, of course, affect them. More entertaining than Fulgur. YouTube bugged out. 1.56 bananas. Geez, even via lure girls can get more than this. And this is, like I said, a shame because they are Nijisanji and they should be able to get more than this. Here's another Michi Mochi V moment. A Michi Mochi V moment with K9 Kuro. They're singing Love is an Open Door. Let's listen into a little bit of it. Of course, I'm not going to play all of it because, as you know, that is something from Frozen, which is a Disney property. So, yeah.
I love crazy.
All my life has been a series of doors in my face. And then suddenly I bump into you.
I was just thinking the same thing because, like... I've been searching my whole life to find my own place. Maybe it's the party talking or the chocolate fondue.
So that's fun. That's fun. That's as far as I can go because, of course, like I said, copyright issues. But I wanted you guys to have a little bit of memeing on the part of K9 Kuro and Michi Mochi V with this Love is an Open Door thing. They're precious for sure. Kurt from Bishoujo, dang. Indeed, Michi's debut is just a cover for the ultimate Bishoujo character, Kurt, of course. Of course, it's a theory. It's a Bishoujo theory. Sup, Suni? Angelina, hello, hello. Michi and Kuro love, yes. What are the V-stats today? The V-stats have been, well, let's just say interesting when it comes to all the characters in Nijisanji. Unfortunately, like I said, Fulgur hasn't really been involved in any like extreme controversies as far as I can tell. So there is no like reason to be like, ah ha 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 with Kurt. No, I'm not that type of person. There's other people out there that are going to be like that, but not myself. Like, that's just not the type of person that I am, honestly. You know, for me. And we have something new. Something new, something blue. Well, she's wearing something blue. Something borrowed, and something, I don't know, something else. There's a bunch of things that you can do for your wedding, but look, she's gonna get her U2s will be revealed on the 11th. So she's finally getting her U2s. It looks amazing. This is the reveal of it. Of course, I'm pretty sure she's already going to get the first figure out there. It's probably even going to be a signed figure, knowing how much people love Doki. And it's going to be great for her. Izumir did just upgrade the chest area. Oh god, the upgrade of the chesticles! The chesticles have been upgraded! Now the nesticles have chesticles to look at. Oh my goodness. Definitely an upgrade. This and the Henya U2s actually surprised me with how good they look. Really happy U2s isn't going down the Funko route of actually doing new things. They look so good. Yeah, Funko, the thing is, you know, everything pretty much looks the same with a different face. It doesn't seem like, just my opinion, again, just an opinion, doesn't look like they want to create anything new except just make it that way. But you also have to say it is an iconic look. The Funko Pop is an iconic look, of course. And that's why people love it. Of course it's going to be an iconic look. That's just, you know, giving both sides of the coin. June 11th, that's not a coincidence, is it? I don't think it's a coincidence. And here we have the big thing that I was going to mention about the whole situation of what was going to be happening here. Is this here? Nijisanji is doing what it always does and actually doing some late work in this case because they put out a DMCA request to take down some stuff, and it says, I don't like Under the Tea, what with randomly accusing people like Cottontail of being antis, and their trauma will be used for content, putting them on quotes. So I'm not sure I remember that correctly. Being said, still find some nonsense, but they got hit with the DMCA. Please keep it up. These people are saying continue to try silencing everyone, and you're gonna get, you're gonna get a lot of bad publicity. It says, Under the Tea podcast. Good morning, little tea sippers. Think we've officially made it in the drama news channel. This morning, we received a DMCA notice from Nijisanji. This is the same type of notice that other people received for having the stuff from the AR Live. And that is basically, they said that they were not going to allow anything to be shown about the AR Live other than the official stuff. And everything else was not allowed. There were no pictures allowed, no that kind of stuff allowed, no screenshots, no none of that. So anyone who was putting stuff out about the AR Live was taking this risk. This risk was something to be taken, and Under the Tea is a larger podcast, as you can see here. Well, actually, it's not that big, but I guess it was enough to be in the purview of a large company like Nijisanji. I guess they saw them, maybe it blew up at one point. It says right here, the account has been locked because of the DMCA request. Notice X will remove the identified material. Maintains repeat copyright infringement policy under which repeat infringer accounts get basically deleted. Nijisanji is dealing with even more controversy today. This was on the 14th of April when it came to the AR Live and other things like that. Are out in full force telling everyone it was the most magical event ever. And it says they did say screenshots of the event weren't allowed. So it checks out. However, they probably knew how bad it looked since why the rule was put in place. These people say the big issue that they had is that the second screenshot was Gura tweet, so it wasn't even a Nijisanji tweet, but it either ended up being that the people at X were a little too trigger happy, or the people in Nijisanji were too trigger happy. Either way, someone was too trigger happy when it came to all of this, and made it so that they removed Gura's tweet as well. The same thing was filed for both images. There we go. Yeah, they're trying to damage control a lot. Morning, number 1 late. Number 2, just uploaded stuff somewhere else. This ain't Nintendo, be a rebel. Just got here after sending some emails, feeling nerve-wracked. Hope everything goes well, Aqua. I really do. Yeah, I'm getting shadow banned left and right. I don't know. You know what it is? I absolutely guarantee you. Right now, I have been attacked a lot by certain communities. One of them is the Nijisanji community, the Niji sister community, whatever you want to call it. Another one is a certain VTuber who doesn't like me, who keeps talking about me, and keeps trying to report me. At least, maybe not them, but their community does. So, if I knew it was them doing it, then I could get like a restraining order for harassment, but I don't know who it is who's doing it. That's the only thing I can think of, honestly. With resin. They are trying to damage control before the report. Sucks for Folger. What's up, Katsuki? I hope he comes up with something entertaining to get his fans back. I hope he does too. Pre-order start on the 11th. Pre-order start on the 11th. Okay. Quarter 4 report will be very interesting. It absolutely will. It absolutely will. This was something that I covered earlier today. This was a situation that I covered earlier today, and I wanted to make sure that we have the full picture of everything, which I always try to do. I always try to make sure that everything is fully covered. I have been meaning to know where leaked Nijisanji's Diver contract comes from. Could it have been this person? Contract leak was given to Legal Mindset. It wasn't 4chan or anything. He confirmed that it was an unsigned copy given to him by someone he wouldn't name publicly. Of course he wouldn't name it publicly because I got in trouble. The only thing out of the end proved right here in specifics was that it wasn't him. The leak still happened. The models were leaked days before the models revealed by Nijisanji, all 4 of them. The leak is still not real. It's still real. 2% leak is still real. Mista confirmed that. Graduation leak was still real. They leaked Nita and Mista's graduation dates, I believe weeks before it was announced. So there's certain things that were announced that were leaked. There's 4 models alleged to be leaked by someone. They put the ALV or whatever it is. They try to frame it on AutoVN. Leaks were actually real, and Crisis debuted with 3 of them. The guy with tech wings was away, so the Anon started to speculate on who the leaker was, and they found Ado Vien, who was vague tweeting some things in the past about possibly joining another agency, that type of thing. The rat became the truth because no one spoke about it for about 1 whole year. Thank goodness I'm free from the rock. You know, that kind of stuff. That vague tweeting is what does it. And the cease and desist after Raziel, the reveal being after that, is kind of strange. That kind of gets people thinking all these new things, because it's very convenient that this reveal that he didn't do anything came out after the Raziel cease and desist letter and that type of stuff. So we don't know how things are going. We don't know anything about it. It's just, like I mentioned before, this is just an update on the whole situation. Legal punch is confirmation of facts. Yeah, exactly. A lot of times the legal punch, whatever you want to call it, the cease and desist, the legal letters, those are all something that people will take as, oh, you're scared. You're actually scared. Okay, so this is true. You know? That's what people are going to take it as. That's what I would take it as, honestly. If I was just looking at it objectively, I'd be like, you guys did this? Oh, that means that it's true. You know what I mean? So we have another situation here. Just a real quick overview, because I don't want to bore you guys with too much stuff. Is it has been 4 months since Selen's termination, and we're just talking about it. You know, it's just basically Selen, as we know, wanted to leave on neutral terms. Wanted to leave with both sides being like, okay, we're just graduating. We're done with the whole situation. We're just going to leave. You know, she leaves. She does her own thing. They still get the positive PR because they're just graduating somebody. It just looks like they left because they wanted to. That type of thing going on. And that is something that, you know, you can take a look at. You can look at yourselves. You can, you know, think about the things that were going on. It's kind of crazy how the whole thing happened. This one's another thing about it going and being her darkest moment. Continuation on the Doki thing. It was about it being her darkest moment, and the Dragoons, the community, everybody who you know was behind her, helping her out. That is very true. The Dragoons did help out. That is very true. That the people who supported her helped her out. But one thing that was posted here that I would like to mention to you guys that is true is that if it wasn't for her wanting to actually be better, wasn't for her actually wanting to heal, then she wouldn't have healed. With the situation she was in, how bad things were for her, if she herself did not want to heal, there would have been no healing at all. She probably would have still stayed in that dark space no matter how much people wanted to support her, because if you don't want to help yourself, it's not going to happen. All good, Aqua. Fade away. That was going on late because my friends were teaching me brain rot terms while I was in the shower. Need a nap. I can't find my hairdryer. It will appear eventually. Gonna air dry route. If you have a fan nearby, like that's what I do. I air dry with my fan. I don't use a hairdryer because hair dryers, they can end up damaging your hair from the heat. So I use air dry. Here's another Michi Mochi V little thing, little new schniver of a thing. Michi wants to play D&D with Narissa from Hololive. Right here she says, she's wondering if it's because of Baldur's Gate brain rot, because Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game. Or if it's just, you know, because D&D is so good that they want to play D&D. Very inexperienced, but still wants to play it. Michi, the game is the same thing to me. I never played D&D, but I almost bought one of those D&D tables. Baldur's Gate 3 brain rot is dangerous. Do you want to try it for the first time ever? And then she gets the eyes and says, time to bust out all the D&D books I bought. It's like, Michi Mochi is like, there are books? It's like, oh my god, they're books? They're books, man. That's a killer right there. She's going to be doing D&D eventually, probably. Probably, more than anything. More than anything is what's probably going to end up happening. And, of course, we're going to go and take a look at Michi Mochi V and certain things that they have said.
Chat, today's my first ever about something. Spill the tea, Queen. I'm a little curious, but I will thread carefully, okay, chat? How many cousins do you have?
Oh, God.
Be honest with me. Like, do you have a lot of cousins? Or when I say cousin, in your head, do you think about like 5 people? Or do you think about like a venue? 5, a lot. 2, a lot. Okay, a lot. Like 20 plus. Okay. Okay, now second question, chat. For those of you that have a lot of cousins, right? I gotta ask. Have you ever, like, met someone and you don't know that they're your cousin, but then you low-key find them cute?
Talk
and
about
then you
incest.
realize you're cousins? I love how some people in chat just said yes already before I was even done with my... I wasn't even done with my question, and chat's just like...
Just talk
yes.
about incest, of course.
Okay, okay. You can't roast me, okay? Screenshot the fact that when I was asking that question, chat just spammed yes. Incest is legal here. You know what? I never asked that. I said before.
Patch got scammed
Like before
for $3.
you found out.
Muchi, you're digging
Oh
quite
my-
the hole right now. It's 10 chin feet deep already.
Not Tenjin though. I will be so honest with you. I
Oh,
will be
God.
very open about that. Me and Jin is very similar. And I don't like people that are similar with me.
Oh,
I
God.
think. So did you find Tenjin attractive? I'm pretty sure he's attractive in his own special way. He will
Wow.
attract his own special little group. But I
The
am
world
not
is small,
part of
yes.
that group. Okay. Tenjin is nice and all, but...
Yeah, Tenjin was your former coworker who ended up being your cousin, yes.
I don't...
Yes. She's talking about Tenjin, who used to be
Okay,
her
I never
former
said
coworker, who
he
used to be your
ugly.
cousin. Who is her cousin?
What? Actually, Tenjin is not... He's not ugly. He's just not my type in a way. The ugly confirmed. You guys are putting words into my mouth. Okay? I never said that. What the
Lucy
fuck?
has not noticed you,
I'm
Lunar.
saying
That
is
sucks.
I don't like...
Has Canada
certain
ever lost the war?
things.
As far as I
Like,
know, we
it's
haven't lost
just
the war
not
since
my
Canada
type.
first started
You know
standing
what I
army.
mean? And I
I've
don't
literally
like
spent thousands of
people
dollars on
Shield
D&D books in the last 30 years.
That-
What a way to start
Well, I
mean,
season
you have an
3
collection at
talking
least.
about being attracted to
I mean,
your
I don't know if
cousin.
you like the fact that they keep updating it, but I mean, I guess rule sets do need to be updated eventually.
It's fine. Richie said Tenjin is ugly. I never said that. Tenjin is beautiful in his special, beautiful way. But yeah, no, it's I just don't like people that groan. You know, like it's a specific thing, but you know, unironic like Discord daddy. What do you mean?
Oh, God.
You know when people talk like, you know what I mean? Like,
She's going into the deep end. She went into the deep end. Here's one thing she's talking about: gun run.
oh my Gunrun is so sweet, dude. He's so sweet. He kept like, I never told Gunrun nothing, alright? I've never been like, oh my god, Gunrun, you know my biggest fear? The darkness. Like, I've never said anything about my biggest fear or nothing, but Gunrun really, really tries to like make you feel as like supported and accepted as possible.
Bad thing.
But like, I could tell that that's what Gunrun was trying to do. Because after every like 3 minutes, like we were like talking for like hours, right?
Yes.
After every 3 minutes, Gunrun would be like,
Nightmare
I want you to
situation,
know
date someone for
you are
months and
loved
decide to tell your folks about it, and it's your
supported
cousin.
and cared for, and you,
What do you do there?
have so much worth,
Especially if you've
okay?
already
And
had
he
a kid.
keeps saying that all the time, and I got so like
Yeah.
flustered. I was like,
Nijisanji did
"Thank you,
DMCA
Gunrun."
somebody,
And he's
Danny.
like,
They did.
Okay, I'm gonna continue. So this is what we're trying to do. Also, I just want you to remember, you matter a lot, and you are loved, and you're so talented. Okay.
So this is good. This gun run thing is really good. How, you know, love, talented, everything like that. I'll show you the DMCA. It's not as serious as it seems. It's just basically they got DMCA'd for you know, the regular drama news channel stuff. The AR Live. Remember how they said that they weren't gonna allow any pictures of the AR Live? They did a DMCA against, I believe, Legal Mindset. Did a DMCA against a lot of other people. You know, that type of stuff. Although Legal Mindset doesn't like me per se, I don't have anything against the dude. And or at least his community doesn't like me. But I have nothing against the dude, and I don't like when people get DMCA'd like this. Doesn't matter if you're my worst enemy. If you get DMCA'd like this, and there's no reason to get DMCA'd like this, I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna make it open, make it available, make it like freaking everybody knows about it. You know? They did. The DMCA LM for the same thing, for the AR Live. Like I said, he doesn't seem to like me, and that's fine. But I don't like when there's false DMCAs, or at least, like, what do you call them? Not false, because it's a DMCA. It's not actually false, but an overly aggressive DMCA. You know, an overly aggressive DMCA. It's the community more than anything. I have been misinformed. It's the community more than anything then. I correct myself then. I correct myself. Eva, I correct myself right here. You know me. I'm honest. I will correct myself. I apologize to Legal Mindset. I apologize to anyone who knows Legal Mindset. It's his community. Well, I mean, he straight up rejected me. No, I mean, when I tried to chat with him I tried to chat with him a couple times, and he just was like, no thanks, like just on the chat part. He has his own ways of thinking. That's why I thought he didn't like me, because he didn't want to chat with me. He didn't want to have any type of collab with me. He didn't want to, because, you know, I'm in the news tuber space, you know, as VTuber who knows a lot about news. I wanted to see if, you know, he wanted my perspective way back in the day when he was just starting out to do news tuber stuff. He rejected it. He's like, no thanks, I prefer not to. But he went with other people, so that's okay. That was the reason why I thought he maybe didn't like me. But it's also, like I said, I've always said, it's his right to not participate with certain people. Maybe he found me to be toxic or my community to be toxic. You should have seen the Rikiera stuff. I thought you were on one of his streams. Yeah. I personally, I'm just gonna say that here. Personally, I have nothing bad. I mean, the dude is like, he found a good niche. Because he is a lawyer who has had to deal with all this corporate law stuff. He knows what he's talking about. And a lot of people, including myself, are not lawyers. And it's good to have a legal, well, let me take his name, a legal mindset out there in the VTuber world. Like someone who actually knows the law, instead of, you know, people like myself who just talk about it. You know, that type of thing. This is talking about the recent lawsuit that I talked about recently, that Nijisanji is doing against defamation and also death threats and things like that. You have people over here on the boards, on the orgs, and all that kind of stuff, talking about like trying to blame Hololive for some things that they've done, basically trying to move stuff around. Lunar RPG should be around somewhere. Rather, Nico left is no longer useful. If you do something wrong, hire me, bring me a screenshot. Is there a screenshot? He doesn't seem to be acting like a victim, does he? You know, all these screenshots, basically, people saying someone on a certain website was banned for inciting conflict with Hololive. People are just trying to do back and forth, as it always happens, you know? It always happens. People trying to bring drama, like what just happened right now. People are trying to bring drama between me and freaking Legal Mindset by telling me Legal Mindset doesn't like me. You know, there's no drama though. As far as I know, there's no drama. Yeah, one of his mods, Professional Gentleman, had me hidden from the chat for a bit. So I don't know if I'm still hidden from chat. That's why I haven't visited his streams lately. Because I would chat and like, I would check on one of my other accounts and my chats wouldn't pop up. So I knew I was hidden from the chat. Which means Legal Mindset doesn't see anything. No one else sees anything. So one of his mods hid me from the chat. And like I said, I don't visit him very often. So I haven't done anything to do that. They just have something against me because they are fans of a VTuber that doesn't like me. So because of the fact that they're fans of a VTuber that doesn't like me, they snuck in a hidden from chat type of thing. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, no. I don't mind having a, you know, communication between each other, between mods and myself and you guys and myself. Like you guys I've seen. I don't mind having, you know, things at all. But, and like I said, I don't blame him. I never blamed him. I blamed either the community, a rogue mod, which happens a lot. There are rogue mods. People freaking don't like you, and they start doing stuff. So the rogue mods things happen. So I never blamed him, per se. I was just like, it sucks, but I'm not going to bug the guy, because I'm not going to be the guy who's like, hey, why don't you like me? Hey, why don't you like me? Hey, why don't you talk to me? No, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be like, all right, we'll stay in our lanes, and I'll keep saying positive things, because I don't have anything negative to say about him, honestly. I really don't have anything negative to say about him. The only, like, semi-negative thing you could possibly say is me, you know, getting banned from his chat, and also that he didn't want to collab with me, but that is just, everyone makes, you know, everyone is going to be making their own decisions with what they do. So, you know, he saw that it wasn't a good decision at that time. I was much smaller when that happened. I was actually probably around 2K, maybe 2K people at that time. So I was tiny. I mean, I'm still tiny, but I'm much bigger than I was before. But yeah, I was still like 2K. So we are all on the same side. Exactly. We're all against Nijisanji. Oh wow. So this actually happened in the chat. Yeah, no, this is just stuff I've been told. Like I said, that's why I've never mentioned it. It just kind of popped up with all this stuff that's happening here. Just kind of popped up. But I have no substantiation over that, other than the fact that when I tried to collab with him, try to talk to him, even I just said just talking on Twitter, just DMing on Twitter, he's like no, and that was it. That's all he said. At least he responded to me. He was kind enough to respond to me, but he said no when I just wanted to talk to him on Twitter. So that's the only thing, only kind of iffy thing that I have about maybe, you know, not on the best terms. But, you know, other than that, I don't have anything about, you know, the community or anything like that. I just have hearsay. And hearsay, as Ava knows, hearsay doesn't fly anywhere. Oh, yeah. I learned later. The VTuber, the specific VTuber who doesn't like me, they disparage me to him. I know that as a fact now. I know that, I mean, people have told me that. They told me that she's talked about it. They told me that kind of stuff. I was talked about negatively because that specific VTuber made a Google Doc about me. So he probably read the Google Doc and was like, I don't want to deal with this person because number one, they're toxic. Number two, they're copiers, according to what I've been told from the Google Doc. I read it. I made my response to it. They probably were like, yeah, I don't want anybody like that on my server or on my live stream. So I'm not going to deal with him. It's his right. Like I said, it's 100% his right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They warn. Oh, don't get me started on this. They warn people. They quote unquote warn people. And they're like, oh, don't go attack them. But then they give you 500 reasons to go attack the person. That's why I don't like when people do that. They say, don't attack them. Don't do this. Don't do that. Yet they put out your name. They put out your Twitter. They put out your YouTube. They put out every single bit of your social media. They don't redact anything. And they're like, this guy is a danger, which is what happened to me, which is why I had to make a 3-hour-long video responding to it. And because the person, I'm not saying this always happens, but in this case, because the person was a woman and came out first, of course, there are many people who will white knight for them and will go on a spree. I had been banned from many servers, banned by many VTubers, banned by many artists because of that accusation. And I'm still doing what I do. I'm still going strong. But yeah, I have been banned, as far as my count is right now, by about 50 different servers, about 100 different VTubers minimum that I can count at least, about 30 or 40 different Twitch channels, about 20 or so YouTube channels. You know, because like I try to talk to people that I used to talk to, my messages never go through. That did huge damage, and my growth dropped from about 100 a day to about 3 or 4 a day. So like directly after. So it wasn't like, oh my god, you know, it's just, it happens. No, it was directly after. So yeah. Don't touch my mokoko, mint doki, I will make you eat kurosanji. Nijisanji yen, love ya. I love that. I love the humor. I love the humor. No one's gonna touch Mokoko or Mokoko's tummy. No one is gonna do that. Because Mokoko herself won't let you touch her tummy. People do easily believe things without hearing the other side of the story. Don't trust my sayu too, you were warned. I warned you, you warned me. Yep, guilty until proven innocent. And I made my video, proving my point. And even after my video, a lot of people blocked me. A lot of people stayed, but a lot of people blocked me. And I think after the Google Doc, I lost something like 700-800 subscribers. I think around there. And you know, daily I do lose subscribers. Like, occasionally. When before it was all positive, now sometimes it's in the negative range. It is what it is. I'm still fighting the good fight. I'm still gonna be here. I'm not gonna stop. Even if there's only 5 people left watching me, I'm still gonna continue because that's what I do. Oh yeah. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link on the Discord. I'll send you the link on the Discord. Because I don't want to put the link out here, but I'll send you the link on the Discord about that situation.
I'll let you hold my hand and we can do other loot things, but I need my head pat on each hand.
Yes, remind me again. Remind me again after, because I don't want to put it on here because, you know, it's just adding more, like, I'm talking about it, I understand, but I don't want to add it on here, but I will let you know. Yes, we need to work on merch. You're right. Let's keep going. Outer VN denies his connection to Nijisanji. I got on a tangent, and I have my ADHD and my hyper fixation on stuff. That's what I try to do, TND. I try to be honest. No worries, Eva. Look, you have the same type of brain that I do, Eva. So I fully understand. No worries whatsoever. I have hyperfixation too. I have a thing where I want to know. And you're a person who is a fact finder. You have no problems here. No worries. Yeah, I have the same thing. We're both the same way. So I'm never going to be angry at you for that, or any of you guys for that. I'm the exact same way. So yeah, I will let you guys know about it. Anyone who wants to know about it can DM me on Twitter or on Discord. You're free to do that. I will let you know both their side, my side, all that kind of stuff. And just, you know, let you guys know. But yeah, Eva and RPG, I'll let you guys know about that, of course. Yeah, this is a fun game, gosh darn it. And we're gonna continue. You auditioned for Face Connect. Ooh, you're gonna be the sad. Well, let me be honest with you, Eva. You might be the Gura killer because you sound like Gura. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You might be the Gura killer because you sound like Gura. That's kind of messed up, but you're gonna be their Gura killer. You're gonna be the sad girl, the sad girl company Gura killer. You got a filter now? Ah, nice. Okay. Yeah. I hate that happens. Just talking about that. I hate that happens, that you can't even have your own damn voice sometimes because of all that, you know, all the stuff with Gura being so popular. Out of VN was accused of sending out crisis members information, like in the sense of the live 2D models, things like that. He says here, number one, the image was released on the Green website, obviously, Green website being 4chan. Obviously, the person sounds so distraught as having issues with said company. They signed it as ALV. And he would, number one, he would never leak anything. He would never leak IPs from $1 million company, the intellectual property. He would never sign it with his real name. And he doesn't talk like this. So he doesn't actually, this isn't his voice, pretty much. I leaked the percentage of royal values of the new VTuber. Number one, they have no contact with VTuber. Number two, they don't know the person, so they have no contact. Don't follow them, sub to them, nor watch their content. Probably nice. I do not respect what they do. Again, they just don't like the VTuber, the newstuber stuff. Do not know any percentage or where this is coming from. Dislike and company. They publicly praised the company in the past and thank them for doing good things when they've done good things. It's all I know has been sent to me. The rumors have jeopardized a lot of opportunities because he's been seen as a leaker. And when you're seen as a leaker, copier, whatever it is, you are now seen as a risk. So no one will pick you up. No one will pick you up. Me being a drama tuber, or well, people call me a drama tuber. I prefer to be a news VTuber. Me being a news VTuber, a lot of people will not collab with me because they don't like the fact that I have things against Nijisanji and it's constantly talk about Nijisanji, Hololive, etc. They feel that will make, like, I had a VTuber actually tell me this, that because I do things against Nijisanji and Hololive, etc., and talk and you criticize them, that they feel that their community is going to dogpile them for even talking to me. I've heard about that. This one, it's smart of him to do. It falls during a very interesting time, which was basically a time when, you know, the Rosale document happened. So it is maybe him protecting himself legally, which makes sense when you think about it. What's up, David? The lawyer lady. Yes, the lawyer person. Yes. She's a lawyer person. Yes. Twisty Short VODs is a gaslight trap. Don't fall for the obvious. She's trying to rope us into trouble. Yeah, we're better than that. Definitely. Good old 4chan still around kicking. Yep. Wish you the best. See the Google Doc. Yep. Twisty will try to stir Doki. I think Doki's smart enough to not be stirred by any kind of controversy. I think, honestly, Doki's smart enough to not be stirred by controversy overall. I think so. Nijian, you are the only good Nijisanji. I'm good. How about you? I sub to Vox, but don't watch him much due to his new model. Pure eye. Yeah, the eye model, the recent one. What's up? Thank you for the head pads, trash bag number 4. The new model's kind of ew. This is the thing that I wanted to talk about. It said JP Money Media, like the Yahoo, what they mean by Money Media is Yahoo Japan, Yahoo Stocks Japan, is saying that it's any color expects growth in overseas business, the stock is a buy. What they're saying here is VTuber management company, Any Color, is expanding its business along with popularity of VTubers. The company is also aggressively expanding overseas. I showed this in the morning. This is all they say. It's a long, like 3-page document, but this is the only part that speaks about Any Color at the very end. So this is actually a part that you need to take a look at. For whatever reason, it's this last part over here where they're talking about Any Color. This is the only part here, this one. And that's what it says right here. I had it translated before, and we took a look at it. That's what it says right there. Now, Nijisanji was trying to, on the 13th, well, they did try on the 13th of May to do this one. It wasn't done, and the live was lost due to this is another live that was done on the, it's going to be done on the 14th, so this one I think is still going to go on. It's in the same place, the same location. Probably like a 3D live, or, you know, if Virtual Rhapsody is anything, it's going to be like a live 2D live. They're saying here, this person on June 3rd, feeling unwell for the past few days, and some reason my eyes have been swollen since yesterday, so I'm taking a break for a while. Liz Hestia and Andrea Katrina says the same thing. They developed a fever, went, and they decided that they had corona. Taking a break from streaming, they're going to be relaxing for a bit. Things were postponed, most likely because of this. It's going to probably continue to be postponed, and they're probably going to have to find another date for maybe the only going to be until next year, maybe. See, disguise? I'm a cocoon stage. Oh, you're in the cocoon stage. Okay. Makes sense. I'm good. How about you? I'm doing good, David. Doing good. Glad you're doing well. Let's see. Yes, RPG stable. It's just badly edited head onto a poorly made buffed body. Yeah, it really is. Like, the head doesn't look like it belongs on the body. And that's really weird for someone who, like, people who make as much money as Nijisanji to have that whole situation happen. That's kind of like, holy crap. Okay, yeah, perfect. No problem. Yeah, start a post later on Discord for ideas of merch ideas, so everyone can have good ideas. Gonna grab dinner. Hope to catch the later part of the stream though. Might hop in if you're playing Left 4 Dead 2. Oh, okay. Take care, Eva. Good thing you're actually getting some food, because I remember last time you didn't get food until like way too late. So I'm glad you're getting some food, Eva. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon. Let's see, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Yes, that's the DMCA. It's the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It's basically a way to protect your intellectual property, your copyright, all that kind of stuff gets protected by the DMCA. Ideas for merch will start post later. Them Voxroids. Yeah, he got roids on that one. It's like, what the hell, dude? That's like he got roided up. Guelu thread on Futaba channel has Japanese talking about Niji drama. What Futaba is, it's like a 4chan thing. Here is something that people wrote on the 4chan thing, the Futaba, whatever. They're saying that they had, they basically are the reason why Zaion's contract was done, because they ended up doing things like, you know, sending Nijisanji all the bad stuff that she had done, all the clips and stuff, and this was before she got terminated. I'm getting hit. Damn it, I'm getting hit. But yeah, all these things were happening. They did a lot of posts. Theorizes recent Haru Kaida slander is Konoir fan. Asking not to compare with Hololive, instead to compare with Unicreate, which Unicreate had a lot of their livers leave. That's why they're comparing it that way. So these people are actually criticizing Nijisanji negatively. Person thinks that around the livers were obvious signs of lacking motivation. Oh, Niji sisters are knocking again. Obligated to attend game tournaments hosted by pros where livers who are used to games win is expected. Guess they're watching us as well. Someone actually linked the post, you know, a Kurosanji post. So it's basically people criticizing Nijisanji, and a little bit of, you know, both sides, which is always good. It's always good to have both sides in the conversation. Always good. David, never be sorry for wanting to be educated. Never be, especially here. I love to educate you. Never be sorry for asking a question. Questions are always welcome here. They're always welcome here, David. You can always ask. It's the best way to learn. If you don't ask, you don't learn. Sometimes when people ask things that I don't know, I look it up and we both learn together. That happens sometimes. And I don't mind learning together. Actually, that's a very good thing to learn together. Squirrel father. Squirrel father. What you have to do is you have to look deep, deep, deep into my cashews. And then your future will be told. A certain fish, educate yourself, yes. Someone get on to making that meme and these sisters knocking on the door. We need ideas. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Get on to making that meme and these sisters knocking on the door for me. Or you can use that Terminator meme. I just put my head on the Terminator meme. Squirrel dad, yes. People have told me that before. That'd be a pretty good dad. Who knows? Oh, this is about the termination of Selen. People started going against them when they started questioning things. They're not good friends. They're not a good friend group. Not people you should talk to. Those type of with friends like that, who needs enemies, really? With friends like that, with friends who are assholes like that, who the hell needs enemies now? You know what I mean? The Niji's knocking on my door. Yeah, completely the opposite of bananas. Educate yourself. I actually want you guys to be educated. For once. The word finana is cursed to you now. It's synonymous with CCV requirements. So completely the opposite of finana is educate yourself. Here we have, going over this quickly. We have a way, if you guys want to get like clips or figure out where someone said something, you can go to a place that can give you, YouTube transcripts. They use Tactic here, which is this company here, where you can get YouTube transcripts for free. Run their video through the transcript, get the transcript, put it in like Notepad, somewhere where you can, find a word, look for something that you're looking for, and then you have the timestamps because it'll put it out with timestamps right here. It'll put out with timestamps. So you put it through the timestamp thing, and then you could go back to the channel, find the specific area for the VOD that you want to look at, and there you go. You have your clips. This person here is asking where to get statistics. Where I get my statistics as well is right here. You can go to Hololive, any one of these sites. For Hololive in general, YouTube, you can go to any one of these sites. Hololive is one for Hololive, ASMR things, Matsuri things, everything from JP to EN. You have the VTuber thing where you can get more Nijisanji, other things in Japanese. You can get that translated into English through Google Translate websites. Another one, you can translate this through Google websites. You get VStats. That's another one that you can do it. There's this other VStats thing, which is showing, the fall of a lot of these people. Selen, because freaking last 7 days she's lost 10K because, well, people are moving from Selen to Doki. Selen's no longer there, so that doesn't count. Max Akuma hasn't lost anything. Neither has Mr. Rias, because Mr. Rias is gone. Luca in the last 30 days has lost 10K. Ike has lost 3K. Anna has lost 3K. Yelira has lost 6K. They're still losing. In total, 65K in losses. With, some people actually getting some. Like you have Vantacro, Vazalius, Yuki, Claude, Victoria, Kunai actually getting some subscribers. Rip Luca, yeah. I mean, Luca messed up by doing what he did, So you have Playboard, Social Blade, which Social Blade is You get stream charts, and you get Twitch tracker. For Twitch, specifically. So there's all those places you can actually go. And it's good to have that information. It's always good to have that information. In fact, I have... most of those sites are bookmarked for me. For VTuber stats. Now, we're going to look at Super Chat earnings for the month of May and 2024 overall. Understandable RPG. I hope the transcript is accurate. From a barren word, can misrepresent. Rip Luca. There's no favoritism. Vivi deserved the love. Honestly, Vivi does. Honestly, Vivi does. Vivi and Kunai have struggled to grow because TTT was forgotten. Hell, TTT didn't even have a name. They named themselves, from what I remember. Lucio blackmailed me into giving us good voice clip for plushies. I'll give you the ara-aras. I'll give you the ara-aras. Sorry, RPG Staple, wrong. Let me remake that. So here we have the super chat readings for all of these dudes. We have Phronoctics, Alban. The nicknames are all the ones I'm going to go for instead of, whether male or female. Alban has 68K for the year of 2024, which is good, which is more than like a lot of people make in a year. 25.3 in only 20. Oh wow, 25K in only May. Holy crap, that's a lot. Scarlet had 19K in May, 91K total. Hex had 59K in total, 16K in May. Shu 26K, 14K in Luxium. Aya from Iluna still doing really well, 47K so far. This is gross. Remember, this is gross super chats. This is before the cut that YouTube does, before the cut that Nijisanji does. So give them about 40%. They take about 40% home, just about maybe 40%. So out of 91K, she probably has 40K that she actually takes home, 45K maybe, 40 to 45K dollars. Aya's probably taking somewhere between 20K, maybe 20K, 20 to 25K. Sunny, same thing, 41K in the gross number. Then it goes down. Reimu's actually not doing too bad, 17K, 5K. Ren Soto is 22K and 5K. Fox Akuma is not doing was doing okay, but not great this year. 31K so far, 4.69K when they used to be like Scarla. They used to be around Scarla's level before. The black stream hurt a lot. Illyra too. Illyra got hurt a lot by black stream. 10K and 2.19 respectively. Meloko 7.41 and 2.17. Uki 19 and 2. Anna, which also got hurt just by her being, having her mouth the way she does. 15.7 and 2.0. Zali 8.6 and 1.9. Aster 7.4, 1.87. Pio 33.8, 1.84. Vanta 20.45. Luca 36.36, 1.57. Vermilion from Exolay 14.15. And then you have Lazulite from Pomu and Kyo making 99.7 and 23.9 respectively. And these numbers aren't bad, because I mean it's still good, but not as much as you'd expect from like if you had probably Hololive, you would see a lot more money. Scarla is definitely slaying. Remember, Nijisanji takes 50%. YouTube first. Let's say they got 100K. From 100K, YouTube will take 30K out of it all of a sudden. Let's just say, okay, for her 90K, out of everything, they'll take probably 27K. That'll leave her with 63K. You get half of that taken away. That is, of course, 31K. So about 31 to 32K is what, on average, she's seeing right now so far. If this were her whole year, that's what she would be seeing. 31K is still good, but compared to 91K that she would normally get, like if she was solo and was this popular, 91K on the difference. And then she would just have to worry about the third that YouTube takes, which would be 60K still. So she'd be getting about double. She would easily be getting double. Of course, because that's math. My maths sometimes. It doesn't math all the time, but it maths sometimes. You know what I mean? It does math sometimes. It doesn't math all the time, but it maths sometimes. And today it mathed a bit. Just did a little bit of math. Just did a little bit. Just a teensy bit of mathing involved. But yeah, it's kind of crazy the way things end up going when it comes to these dudes. All these dudes who do all these things. It is unfortunate, like I said before. Very unfortunate that they have to worry about the company taking so much from them. It is some people could say, it's the cost of doing business. It's the cost of doing business in a company that is giving you the benefit of their clout. Now, of course, Nijisanji clout isn't worth the paper it's written on, isn't worth the contract it's written on, because you'd be getting more negative clout than anything. I mean, look at the Noth right now. Look at the Noth right now. It isn't doing well at all compared to what you would expect it to do. Like, for example, if it had been Advent or any one of the girls like that, or even any of the Holostars boys. Even the Holostars boys did better to start off with than the Noth has. And Nijisanji used to be a powerhouse. Nijisanji used to be the one that you would look at and like, oh my god, I'd be lucky if I ever got into Nijisanji. That's what it used to be. I remember when I used to think that. Before I knew what Nijisanji actually was. Like, before I knew that Nijisanji did what they did right now. I used to think, oh my god, I'd be lucky if I got into Nijisanji. Now I'm like, I'm lucky I never did. Now I'm thinking I'm lucky I never got into Nijisanji. It's a whole 180 compared to how it used to be. Like, I mean, honestly, I think every VTuber at one point wanted to get into Nijisanji or into Hololive. Nijisanji, with the growth that they were having, a lot of people preferred to go into Nijisanji, but were like, hey, if Hololive gets me, cool. As a guy, I was like, if Holostars gets me, even now, if Holostars gets me, awesome. I'll appreciate that. I'll be very happy. If, but like, otherwise, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to go for Nijisanji. I'd go for Phase Connect if they ever did the Phase Connect thing. Mark your calendars, it's a week left until quarter 4 drops. And any Cutter's quarter 4 report is going to drop. What are people thinking? I'm thinking sell, sell, sell. Lose less than 7% of value. I think it's going to sell, 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 but lose less than 7%. That's my personal opinion. Now, again, like I said, that's just my opinion. I am not a financial advisor. I am not anyone even, like, remotely, like, professional in that space. I have just invested in the past many times. And that is where I get my knowledge, because I'm like, you know, if I'm going to invest something, I try to know as much as I can. And I have gotten to know as much as I can when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, yeah. That is the thing, you know.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup! JVs07 joined the family.
Let's see here. So yeah, that is what we're going to be talking about. Whoa, wait, what was that? This one? It was marking your calendar. Oh, also it was because JV-san joined in the Twitch side. JV-san joined in the Twitch side. Of course. So yeah, that's what it was. Now, surprisingly enough, that was most of the news for today. That was actually, in fact, all the news that I wanted to cover today. We're going to cover a little bit of other stuff. Just, you know, just chilling, chatting, doing whatever we go and do. As you know, I like doing that. I like chilling, chatting with you guys, getting to, well, trying to, at least, get a little bit of stuff here and there. Oh, what the hell was that? There we are. There we go. Now, what am I doing? Being cheating, yes. Being cheating, yes. It's a lot of being cheating. A lot of being cheating. You gotta love that. You gotta love it. So here we go. JV, 2 more followers to go. Thank you, thank you. What's up, Blue Milk? Guess whose video I'm watching? Salvi VOD on my YouTube, and I got Salvi. I appreciate you, Wise Found Son. I appreciate anyone who watches my VOD. I appreciate anyone who watches any of my stuff. I really do appreciate that. It does mean a lot. It really does mean a lot. I do appreciate that. Watermelon. Yes, that is Watermelon hey, watermelon hey. That is straight from low effort clips. Absolutely straight from low effort clips. I do definitely appreciate you, Wise Found Sun, popping in here. Tanuki Mimi when he pops in too. They don't pop in very much anymore, but when they used to pop in, I appreciate that as well. I always appreciate a pop in, because like I said before, I'm a tiny VTuber, so that I appreciate that a lot. Like I've never broken like 20 or 30. Well, no, I have. I'm not gonna lie. People used to back in the day. People used to raid me a lot, and I would get like 60, 70 people at a time, sometimes for like a couple of hours. That hasn't happened for a while, so it is a thing. It is what it is, as they say. But yes. Is it true that Twisty's potentially becoming another Zaion Lanza? It is... Let me just tell you what I know about the Twisty situation. Twisty seems to be, just from the outside looking in, seems to be talking a lot of stuff, a lot of vague posting, a lot of like vague talking about situations that may be happening inside of the company, or it could also very well be because, you know, sometimes when you're in this space for too long, you end up making a lot of, you know, assumptions. Could very well be trying to stay rational, truthful, and honest here. It could just be because Aster Arcadia was doing a tier list and put her at bottom tier for being a League of Legends character, put them at the bottom tier. So she was saying, you know, people are mean, people are evil here, people are, you know, they're harassers and all that kind of stuff. That could have just been because of Aster Arcadia's situation. We don't know. And that's what I'm taking it as right now. That may not be what some people want to hear, but that's the way I'm taking it right now. She might end up being like Zaion Lanza if she does like certain jokes that aren't too appropriate. I guess is the best way to say it. If the jokes aren't super appropriate, then yes, you're going to have an issue where you're going to run into a problem of things not going so well, because they already did that once to Zaion. If they did that once to Zaion, what's to say they're not going to do it to you when you are, you know, doing your thing? What's to say they won't do it to you? That's the way I see it. That's why I'm always very careful with the things that I say. You know, if I go too far and I say things that aren't backed up by data, I correct myself. I apologize. I keep going. How does Salvi manage to read both Twitch chat and YouTube chat at the same time? That looks hard. It isn't easy. It isn't easy. Appreciate you, Salvi, for covering news. I'm digging into the news too. Thank you, Lunar Fox 69.
Lunar underscore Fox 01 just shared 69 bits. The nice number of bits 777 octogentillion 777 septentrigentillion 777 sextrugentillion
They're confused.
777 quintrigentillion 777 quadriautogentillion 777 trotrigentillion 777
Jesus Christ! There we go again. Thank you, Nijisanji EN, the person named Nijisanji EN. Digging into news too, no parasocial. Will come again, yes it will. Talk about what to work on to build up your channel to make it better. That's, you know what? Any type of input like that is absolutely welcome. Any and all input like that is always welcome. Zenny? Oh my god, the sevens keep going.
777 trevigentillion 777 duovigentillion 700.
He sounds tired.
77 unvigentillion 770.
He sounds very tired. You broke the AI.
Decillion 777 octodecillion 777 septendecillion.
Oh, he got energy now. He got energy now.
6 decillion 700.
Oh, never mind. He got hurt. Who hurt you? 777 quatuordecillion. Who hurt you, man?
777.
It stopped. It stopped. You broke it. You broke it. You broke the TTS. You actually broke the TTS. That's hilarious. He doesn't have enough energy anymore. He's done. You broke him. The poor man. He's going home to his children, his 25 children, and his 2 wives. A broken man. You've broken this man. Poor guy. That was hot. So many sevens, quintillions. Niji is shit. Yeah, I agree. Zaion didn't do anything wrong. They even apologized and, you know, still got hurt by it. You can't buy me. Yeah, amount of money won't make me say anything otherwise. I agree. I respect your opinions, Sketch. I really do. It was hot. Quintillion. Just cut it. Finally. 2 wives? Yes, 2 wives and 25 kids. Because a man who could read that many 7s has to have 2 wives. I have ascended. This is not my real name. It's your cocoon stage. Okay, it's your cocoon stage. By the way, it's Twisty EN. Twisty is EN. Denoth is an EN version. It's EN. It's Nijisanji EN. The hell is Twitch GTS saying? I don't think those are actual numbers. They are. They are. The sextillion and all that kind of stuff is like really a lot of numbers. More numbers than I know what to deal with. But yes, there are a lot of numbers. Looter, you're broke TTS Kun. You off the TTS. Poor Brian. More passion too. Could be. Opinion is that, yep. What will happen if Dokibird invite Mume, Kiara, and Narissa? Probably they're gonna do it in their past lives, if they do it at all. Unless they get the okay from management, which of course, Hololive I don't think would have anything negative to go against that, because Dokibird isn't necessarily on the negative side, you know? That number 7 is the number you need to pay for the lawsuits, thank you. Ahoy! Ahoy, Gerard! A little. But we'll change my form, become not Nijisanji. Yeah, Nijisanji is acting like garbage right now, really is. Off the TTS, Nijisanji is garbage, yes. I've been talking to Tanuki in private. He's fine. But I did talk to him about the fact that I was jealous of the Synchronites because I really love and have a crush on Sayu, and my parasocial with Sayu told me that it's okay to be parasocial with Sayu because she's parasocial with us and loves us equally. Of course. Wayu's found son. I've always said this. Always. The parasocialism you have with your Kamioshi, your Oshi, whoever it is, that's fine. There are levels, of course. There are levels when it becomes like when people start doing stalking, that is too much parasocialism. If you just have support and you're there to watch them stream and you enjoy watching them stream, there are a lot of parasocialism situations that aren't bad at all. And I will, I will support you in that. Because it is a very personal situation. It is a very personal relationship you have with that person, with they call it parasocialism, whatever you have. It's a very personal thing you have, and it is something that is between you and the person. As long as Sayu doesn't have a problem with it, I don't have a problem with it. I have no issue with that. As long as like Sayu's like it's okay, then it's okay. You can call most VTubers have a little bit of parasocialism with their fans because they're glad seeing them there. They're glad seeing them around. They're glad seeing them chill and hang out and be there with you. Like, I'm always happy when I see you guys here. Some people call that parasocialism. That's fine. If it's parasocialism, then it's parasocialism. That's fine and dandy and all that kind of stuff, Which Tanuki? Yeah, Tanuki Mimi is Wayu's found son's friend. Well, it's someone that Wayu's found son knows and actually sent here once. They pop in on occasion. They haven't popped in a while, so I'm glad to know that they're doing fine. Because I do worry. Like I said, there's a little bit of parasocialism there where you worry. You hope people are fine. You're happy wherever they go, but you hope that they're fine. And that's what happens with me. I just hope that you guys are always fine, happy, and everything. Spies all sound alerts, interrupt the stream. I mean, sound alerts, that's why I have it on Twitch. I don't mind sound alerts. I honestly don't mind the sound alerts. And I just don't get the freaky tail that slumps the energy out of people. Parasocial like Vox levels. No, yeah, the parasocial like Vox levels where they like want to actually do them and actually like call them a lord and stuff. That may be going, but I mean it's as long as it doesn't affect other people. My personal opinion on parasocialism, as long as it doesn't affect other people, like for example your family, your wife, your kids, any of that type of stuff, and it's just you having fun with the person, that's fine. When it starts affecting other people, when it starts affecting your life, when you can't work or anything like that because of the parasocialism, that is when it starts to go a little bit further than it probably is healthy to. Just being honest. But as long as it's not anything like that, you do you. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. I'm not even going to tell you it's wrong. Just you do you.
I was straight up jorking it until I was supposed to start stream. Don't put the F word. I was jorking it, obviously. Did you really kiss Pippa? Okay, wow. We have a lot to talk about. So, anyway.
We did it, parasocial, not yandere.
Yes. Thank you for the $10. I'm not proceeding to
yes,
read
we did it, not yandere.
out loud. Oh Oh my god!
The inner fox was
I
knocking at
forgot
my
to
door.
plug in my
I didn't
phone
answer, goddammit,
before
because I didn't want to.
Because I was too busy kissing Pippa. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, come
BRB
again?
while you
What do mean, come
listen about
again?
people kissing
I kissed Pippa. I slept with Uruka, and I kissed Pippa. What would Uruka think of that? Uruka and I slept together. And then Uruka got a little tipsy, and she kabe-donned me. She what? She kabe-donned me, and then yeah, I don't know what you're not understanding about this. We slept together, and I kissed Pippa. Pippa won me a plushie at the arcade. Well, Uruka also won me a plushie at the arcade. Everybody was really nice to me. There's this other one, and I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. And then Pippa, like, sent me a text later after, like, we had left, and she was like, Leah, I got this for you. And I was like, oh, Pippa, you're the best. I'm gonna kiss you. And then the morning after, she, like, came downstairs, and she handed it to me, like, without saying anything. And then I kissed her. Cause like, obviously, why would I not kiss her? She works so hard for me, man. She's so kind. Pippa's so cute in real life. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Pippa's so cute in real life. I kept thinking about it the entire time. I had to keep like walking away and going back to my room and like taking a minute because Pippa's so cute in real life. Oh my god, if I think about it too hard, it starts making me crazy again. She's so cute. Oh my god. I miss her so much. She's like the cutest girl I've ever seen in my entire life. Like ever. Like actually ever. And she sleeps so cute and her mannerisms are so... Everything about Pippa is cute. She's a cute girl. I'm sorry. That's it. I'm done. I'm so sorry. I just came on here to talk about how cute Pippa is. It was really overwhelming for me. I've never seen a girl so cute in my entire life. She's so cute. She sleeps so cute. When we met, she like fell asleep really early. And we were like, oh, where did Pippa go? And then like we went and we found like where she was sleeping and we like checked on her. And the way she was sleeping was so cute. I can't get over it. It's like burned into my memory. It's like one of the best sights I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh, Pippa.
I did. Yeah, some people are more open about it. You're open about it, and that's good.
She's so cute. Oh my god.
I think everything's gonna be good while you find some.
I can't help it. She's so cute. Uruka's really cute too, man. Oh my god. I love Uruka so much. And Irie too. Like, oh my god. How's meeting Mii-chan? Oh my god, she spanked me the moment we met. The moment she walked through the door, she spanked me. She did. She didn't even say hi. It was just her hand was on my ass the moment she walked in the door. It was awesome. It was so awesome. I don't even remember what she said to me because I was like, oh my god, Tenma just touched my butt. She walked in the door and she was like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then she started spanking me and I was like, well, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, it is crazy.
Now I'm gonna take it. You've done this. This is kind of your own fault. Now I really want to do the test. I often use words from... Okay, this is stupid. Yes, I use words and phrases from movies. How can this be an autism thing? This has to be the worst test out there. I quote movies...
Not autistic, just charded.
Yeah. Oh, I'm often surprised when others tell me I've been rude. The wording of the question is actually kind of dumb. I don't think you're autistic, but you're protesting a bit too much. I'm protesting the practice. It's the principle of the thing. The test is rigged. It's all bullshit and it's stupid and it makes people think they're like neurodivergent. You can't just pretend you're autistic for internet points. I'm not autistic, guys. How... Is there like a test author or something here? Can I find the test... I just need to Google this person. I'm gonna send her a strongly worded letter. One second. I'm just gonna send her a strongly worded letter. Oh, she's fucking Canadian. Okay, I see. She's
Makes sense.
Fucking Canadian.
Makes sense.
Neuropathic doctor training in autism. Training from where? Educational background?
Did somebody
Bitch crazy about Pippa, yes.
U of T? McMaster! U of T? She didn't even go to like Western or whatever. U of T. I don't know how much I trust U of T, man. I know people who graduated from U of T. Oof. I don't know how much I trust U of T. Ooh.
She's like, I don't know about this anymore, man. U of T of all places.
She fucking hates it. The sad face. Okay, I take it all back. U of T is great. I love you, University of Toronto. Okay, let's just keep in mind that she also fucking hates it. Bad at clarity, but still accurate as shit. How can that be possible? Clarity, and that's not like it's not a correlation. It's a direct thing. It's causation.
Yeah.
Clarity causes accuracy. You can't have accuracy without clarity. That doesn't even make sense. What?
I can understand that.
This test sucks.
I dig that.
This is actually garbage. This is so fucking stupid. It's an autism thing. Why do they have to phrase it like this? Again, clarity 1. I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I'm saying. No, not true. I know that you all hate me and you're bored all the time. 45. What's the maximum score on this? Oh, I'm like 45 out of 240.
Oh, so she's not autistic. She's just dumb.
Neurotypical. High five! Yay! Ow. It's low. Okay, 45. I didn't lie.
She's not autistic. She's just dumb.
Garbage. Trash. Fucking garbage. This test is dog shit. It's garbage. It sucks. It's the worst autism test. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pippa does have mile-long feet. Let's see how accurate it is for adult autism. Clinical partners. Let's see how this goes. Question 1 of 30. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. All right. No one asked for this. No one asked for this. But let's do this autism test. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Becoming strongly absorbed in something, even if... Oh, definitely agree with that one. Very sensitive to noise and will wear earplugs to cover my ears in certain situations. Oh, yes. Sometimes people say I'm being rude even though I think I'm being polite. That happens way too much. What characters from a book might look like? Yeah, no, I can't. Find it easy to talking... Oh, no. More interested in finding out about things than people? Yes. Find numbers, dates, and strings information fascinating? Yes. Prefer non-fiction books and films to fiction? I slightly agree with that. Find it upsetting in my dating routine? Oh, yes. Oh, my God. My parents have had to deal with that so much for me. For me to understand other people's facial expression? Yes. Don't have any problems making small talk with new people? Oh, I have problems. If I'm correct, I have problems. Very small changes in a person's appearance. Yeah, I slightly agree. I was used to play lots of Let's Pretend or imaginary games. Slightly agree. I like collecting information about things I'm interested in. Oh, yes. Like meeting new people. Slightly disagree. Say I talk about the same thing. Oh, yes. Find it easier to work with people thinking finished by looking at... No. I'm really bad at that. Yes. Oh, yes. Important me to carefully plan many activities I'm going to. Yes. Find it hard to work out what people's intentions are. Oh, yeah. Find it really hard to play imaginary games with children. I slightly agree. I am good diplomat to help ease difficult social or work situations. Slightly disagree. The last person... Yes. Like to do things spontaneously. Slightly disagree. If I'm interrupted doing something, find it hard to get back to... Yes. Patterns in things all the time. Yes. I can tell if someone I'm taking to is getting bored. Yeah, no. There's a strong probability that you're autistic. Holy crap. Holy crap. I almost got a perfect score on this thing. Holy crap. I almost got a perfect score on this whole damn thing. There's a strong probability that you're autistic. I already kind of knew that, sir. Sir, I already kind of knew that. I already kind of knew that. Thank you for verifying what I already kind of knew. Thank you so much for verifying. What should I do now? Strong probability you're autistic. Please remember that the results are only indicative and does not form a formal diagnosis. So go get diagnosed. I'm already been diagnosed. So I already know. 280. Oh God, that's a lot. I'm glad that my insurance covered that. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm not gonna go and do that to you guys, but still, I'm autistic apparently. Yay! But Leah forgot about Pippa's miles-long feet. Probably did. Is that a boat horn? You're my ultimate, that legitimate ultimate titmate. People with random 5-second internet diagnosis like some badge of honor. Lumi's right, actually. Bitch crazy about Pippa. Don't take the parasocialism too much love law groups. In fact, I think requesting politeness is a method of censorship. It can be. Currently answering now that too. How many questions are there? There are 30. And I got 29 points out of 30. The highest score you could get is 30. And I got 29 out of them. Oh, God, that was a lot. Holy crap. Who hurt you to take this test? I decided from the freaking, whoever, Lumi. Yeah, from Lumi. I was like, fuck it, I'll take it. Because Lumi made me think about it. This person here, Lumi, with their craziness. I find it hilarious, though. I find it hilarious. Yes, I already know I'm autistic, goddammit. I had a formal diagnosis. I know I'm freaking autistic. Holy crap. I already know that. Doctors know it and everything. Says I'm autistic. And have ADHD too. Also diagnosed. Holy crap. So my brain be doing some weird jigamadoos things. You know the jigamadoos? All that kind of stuff. So here we go. We're gonna look at what? Wait, what happened here? Oh. We're doing Fat Electrician, not Fat Joe. Fat Electrician, goddammit. And that is me showing you guys that yes, I'm autistic. Yes, I am autistic. Oh, let's take a look at this one. This one already has 950. Holy fucking, what the hell? Hey, what is this? Oh, that's the Pippa one. Let's watch the Pippa one first.
The new Pokemon DLC. The new Pokemon DLC. Blueberry Academy takes place in Unova. Do you know what color this is from, Chad? Do you know what color this is from? Unova! So, on one hand, I don't think he's even gonna be in the DLC, right? The Scarlet and Violet DLC, Part 2. I don't even think he's gonna be in it, realistically. But if
yeah,
he is
realistically,
in it,
probably
I'll
not.
be happy, but also scared because a bunch of new people are gonna see Colorist, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, he's the best ever, and they're gonna be competition for me. And then aside from that, somebody brought up, what if he has a wife? What if they give Colorist a wife? What the fuck am I gonna do then, Chad? What am I gonna do then? I don't like it. Like I'm wording it in like the funny way, right? But like unironically, how am I gonna wake up in the fucking morning if my husbando has a wife? Unless she's like super self-insertable, right? It's like, oh man, literally me for real.
More of a whole, an a-hole than an autist. Pippa shouted out Yuko. About 18. You got 18. Okay, so that's like some tendencies. I have strong tendencies. If you have less than 20, then you don't have strong tendencies. You have like somewhat tendencies. You could just be ADHD, or you could just be a very like specific type of thing.
The only answer is killing yourself.
Gonna keep digging about the Nijisanji news, and I don't want them starting another drama. No worries, I'll work my own knowledge. Oh yeah, no worries.
I want to die and I want to be reborn in that world.
Have a good night, Nijisanji. Ian, it sounds interesting saying that.
Myself, right? Bullshit, chat. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Oh yeah, blown up the game.
All right, we're gonna go Fat Electrician right now because Fat Electrician is our thing now.
I hate it when I start researching for a video and the truth ends up getting in the way of a good story. Luckily, this is a good story regardless. Today we're talking about America's first naval ace of World War II. Ladies and gentlemen, Edward Butch O'Hare.
Yes, Butch.
Now, our story actually begins with his father. So, once upon a time in 1893, Edward Joseph O'Hare, EJ for short, was born in St. Louis, Missouri as a son of two first-generation Americans that had just come over from Ireland. He spent his entire childhood in St. Louis, and then in 1912, he would meet his wife Selma. They would end up getting married, and then they would live in an apartment above a grocery store that was owned by Selma's father. Shortly after that, in 1914, Selma would give birth to their first child, Edward O'Hare, that would later come to be known as Butch. Butch would also get two little sisters, Marilyn and Patricia, and by all accounts, they had a really happy little family. Okay, fast forward, 1923, EJ takes a Missouri State Bar, he passes it, becomes a lawyer, and almost
Pippa does, yes. She has a body pillow that she can hug on stream.
For the entire nation. And he needs a lawyer because he needs to patent his new invention, that little electric rabbit that goes around the dog racing track that all the dogs chase. So EJ gets that done for him, and then Owen decides that he wants to keep him around, so he makes him a business partner because he needs a good lawyer that's going to be able to help him keep dog tracks open and open up new dog tracks, because at this point in time, dog tracks received a ton of political resistance. And this is because in 1910, gambling got outlawed, so for the next decade, all the dog tracks were just going out of business, because without the gambling revenue coming in, the business just wasn't financially viable, and I mean, nobody wants to go just watch dogs run in a circle if you're not betting money on it, right? Ipso facto, all the dog tracks ended up shutting down, except for the ones that were willing to engage in underground illegal gambling, which is why they needed
JK, yes. JK.
EJ even passed the bar and became a lawyer in 1923, things were already already set into motion that would eventually change that. You see, 1920 was Prohibition when the government banned alcohol. Okay, sidebar. The amount of videos that I have done on this channel and my other channel, The Fat Files, where everything ties back to Prohibition is absolutely insane. It's like that game, you know, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where every single person on the planet knows Kevin Bacon within 6 relationships. I can do any historical event and tie it back to Prohibition somehow, in some way, in some fashion. I know it's possible.
Take a look at this. Jesus Christ, Charlie.
I mean, just off the top of my head from videos that I've already covered, Prohibition is directly responsible for Domino's not going bankrupt in 2012. Every American warship had an ice cream machine on it. That time that America had multiple ships completely dedicated to just making ice cream and distributing it to the Pacific Theater in World War II.
All those things.
7 billion pounds of cheese in underground caves all over America. The fact that every dairy farmer is required by law to pay into a giant advertising fund so that they can advertise milk, which is where Got Milk came from. Pretty much all the IRS codes regarding tax evasion, and now this story as well is also brought to you by Prohibition, that one time that the US government tried to ban alcohol and failed miserably. Now, as we all know, after alcohol got banned, organized crime stepped in. They started distributing alcohol, they established speakeasies, they had bootleggers, they manufactured their own booze, and they made a ton of money while they did it. And by 1925, they had gotten so wealthy and so powerful that they were actually able to buy off politicians and law enforcement, and they were able to get away with whatever they wanted. And they were looking for more ways to make even more money, whether it was legal or not. And one of the things they decided that they wanted to do was to get into gambling via dog racing tracks. And now that they had politicians on their payroll, they would actually be able to get the building permits, build all new dog racing tracks, and not be busted for gambling by the law enforcement because they were paying off them too. So you're a big time mobster that wants to get involved in dog racing, money's not going to be an issue, getting building permits from politicians isn't going to be an issue, and the law enforcement's going to leave you alone. What's the last thing you need? You need somebody that knows how to run a dog racing track and one of those stupid electric rabbit things, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what they do. The mobsters go and they get a hold of Owen Smith and his legal consigliere, E.J. O'Hare. And when I say mobsters, I just mean the first big time guy to figure all this out and put the plan together, and that was a gentleman from Chicago by the name of Al Capone. Yeah, E.J. and Owen are now partnered with Scarface.
Definitely looks suspicious.
Yep.
And his Southern Italian heritage raises some flags.
Using Capone's connections, they end up building dog tracks in Chicago, Miami, and Boston. And they make a ton of money. And this goes on for years, and EJ ends up earning his new nickname from the mob, Easy Eddie. And back at the O'Hare house, they go from, you know, doing pretty okay financially to being very wealthy very quickly. And despite EJ, Easy Eddie, dad, being in bed with the mafia and working with Al Capone, when he's back home, by all accounts, he is a terrific father to all 3 of his kids and a great husband to his wife. But Butch, his son, is the absolute apple of his eye. They have a really special relationship. Using all this new money he has, he goes up, he takes him camping, teaches him how to shoot guns, and then he even gets into flying airplanes, loves taking Butch up into the airplane with him, and sometimes even letting him take control of the plane, and Butch falls in love with both flying
Five
and
Nights at Candy's has squirrels?
Interesting. Being a bad guy for a living and being a good dad back at home. So fast forward 1927, Owen P. Smith ends up passing away. Now, since his business partner just passed away, he acquires the business and the patent to the electric rabbit, and this is where things get a little controversial depending on which source you want to read. Some sources imply that he swindled Owen's widow out of the patent and out of the money, and some other sources say that he basically paid her out. Which, to be fair, both of those are completely possible. He is a crooked lawyer working for the mafia, and also it's pretty standard practice that if you are in a business partnership and your partner passes away, that you buy out his shares and you acquire the entire business. So you can go ahead and pick whichever one you like more for that. Now, it's also at this point in time, right around 1927, that Easy Eddie and his wife Selma come to the realization that their son Butch is adapting a little bit too well to their new life of luxury. I mean, they have enough money to give their kids anything they want. The problem with Butch is all he wants is to sit in the house, read books, and eat donuts 3 times a day. He's 13 years old, he's already starting to get fat and kind of lazy, and one day he reaches peak laziness when he asks his mother at the age of 13, hey mom, can I borrow the car to go to the bakery? The bakery is literally 4 doors down where he buys his donuts. He didn't want to walk like 60 feet to go get a box of donuts so he could eat it. At that point, his parents realized that they had a problem on their hands. So they do what any good parents would do. They come to him with love and compassion, and they hold his hand, and they look deeply into his eyes, and they tell him, it's okay, I'm just fucking kidding. They sent his ass straight to military school.
It's a fat camp. Are you crazy?
That.
No way.
So he gets shipped off to Western Military Academy in Illinois. Fast forward 3 years, 1930, Butch is in his junior year of military school, and he absolutely loves it. He's not much for conventional sports like football or wrestling. However, he did end up joining the water polo team, which he really enjoyed, and that's actually how he got his nickname Butch. And he has decided not only does he enjoy military school, but he wants to go on to be in the actual military. He wants to go directly into the U.S. Naval Academy. So that's what Butch is up to. Easy Eddie's still just raking in the dirty gambling money with Al Capone, so much so that in 1930, he buys a massive mansion that has an indoor skating rink and an indoor pool in this really fancy neighborhood in St. Louis. And this is the part where the truth kind of gets in the way of a good story, because when this story is usually told, there hasn't been all this context that I've already given you guys. It's literally just they open up like, hey, there was this lawyer that worked for the mafia and Al Capone. His name was Easy Eddie, and he was the best lawyer around, and he's the reason that Al Capone got kept out of prison. Okay, which right out of the gate, that's not true. Okay, Easy Eddie wasn't Al Capone's lawyer. He happened to be a lawyer that was a business associate of Al Capone. Okay, if Al Capone got arrested for a DUI or whatever, it wasn't like he was calling up Easy Eddie to come represent him in court. That never happened. They then go on to explain that him and his son Butch have this amazing relationship, and Butch is the apple of his eye, and he uses the wealth that he's accrued from working with the mafia to give his son everything he could possibly want. And then one day he has a change of heart and realizes that he hasn't given his son a good role model in life to look up to. And at that moment he decided that he was going to help the IRS put Al Capone in prison, proving to his son how to be a good person, and then the mafia assassinates him for it. And then his son, having seen his father lay down his life to do the right thing, decides that he's going to go off and become a war hero in World War II. And it's this happy story about redemption and doing the right thing, and it's also completely fucking made up and nonsensical. Okay, that story sounds great if Butch is like a 7-year-old little boy. He's not. He's 17 and he's been in military school since he was 13, and he's already about to go into the U.S. Naval Academy. Okay, do you know how fucking mad I would be if my dad that I had a great relationship with, like one of my best friends that I confided in at the age of 17, and he came to me and was like, son, I've done some pretty bad things in my life, and I've decided to prove to you how to be a good man. I'm going to go ahead and turn myself in and get myself assassinated by the mob just to show you how to do the right thing.
That's not gonna happen.
Hey, dad, counteroffer, hear me out. What if you just retired, you're already rich, and then you just stopped doing bad stuff? That would set a pretty good example. I'm also 17, so I don't need you to just like set the example. I'm old enough and mature enough to understand the concept of like, hey, do as I say, not as I do. You know, maybe don't go get yourself killed basically for no reason.
The city wept. We lost 2 heroes.
There wasn't even an awning in our direction. No. Jumped 20 stories. Doesn't make sense, does it?
So again, that's complete nonsense fairy tale land. Not only is it not historically supported, it also doesn't even make sense if you understand people even a little bit. Okay, so here's what actually happened. In 1930, Easy Eddie does start working with the IRS because he's running all the dog tracks, he's helping Al Capone cook the books, and basically launder all the money, and he's going to be able to show the IRS how he's doing it, which is going to be able to allow them to put Al Capone in prison for tax evasion. Now, from here, there's another myth that honestly I also don't buy, but basically they insinuate that Easy Eddie actually helped the feds put away Al Capone in exchange for guaranteeing that his son, Butch O'Hare, got into the U.S. Naval Academy. Okay, and again,
No, that's probably not
I don't know why people believe this. There's almost no historical evidence that supports it, and if you think about it, it doesn't even make sense, okay? The U.S. Naval Academy has like a 10 to 12% acceptance rate, and Butch O'Hare just spent the last 5 years in one of the most prestigious military academies in the United States, and he performed well there. He's pretty much guaranteed a slot at the U.S. Naval Academy.
Pretty much.
And we know how he performed once he got into the U.S. Naval Academy, and there was nothing that even remotely suggested that he didn't belong there. So
there was no nepotism.
Anyways, why on earth would Easy Eddie go get Al Capone turned in and get himself killed for no reason? So what do I think happened? I think that it was 1930 and Elliot Ness and his crew of uncorruptible cops known as the Untouchables were going around putting all the mobsters in jail, and Al Capone was #1 on their list, and Easy Eddie, being the intelligent guy that he was, realized that if they got Al Capone, and then they would just start working their way down the ladder, and they would eventually get to him too. So he figured, hey, maybe I should help them get Al Capone, and then I'll get my own freedom instead. Now, in addition to this, to be fair to the myth that I did just try to debunk, it would not surprise me if there was some portion of this conversation where Easy Eddie was like, hey, I'm willing to be your guys' informant. My son is applying for the U.S. Naval Academy. If for some reason that it gets brought up that his dad is a famous mafia guy that works for Al Capone, and that is going to prevent him from getting in for that reason alone, I need you guys to tell them that I don't actually work for the mafia anymore, and I'm working for you as an informant. That way my son gets what he deserves. Okay, that is a very, very big difference between he got his son in by turning in Al Capone, and he got out of his son's way, while also saving his own skin, which was probably his primary goal to begin with. Regardless, Al Capone gets arrested and put in jail for tax evasion in 1931.
Take care, David. Take care.
Sets off for the U.S. Naval Academy. While attending the academy, Butch does a great job and goes back home every chance he gets to hang out with his mom, his dad, and his 2 sisters. Now, right around this time, Easy Eddie and Selma end up getting a divorce, and Easy Eddie actually moves to Chicago so he can be closer to the racetrack that he's running. Okay, fast forward 1937, Butch graduates from the Naval Academy, and he decides that he wants to go off to become a pilot. Here's the problem: you can't just go off to become a pilot right after becoming a commissioned officer after graduating from the academy. You have to serve a minimum of 2 years in the Naval Surface Fleet. So he sets off to do that, serving his 2 years on the battleship, the USS New Mexico. So he does that for the next 2 years while Dad is back home running the dog tracks in Chicago. Then 1939 rolls around. He's done his 2 years worth of time in the Surface Fleet. He applies to get into Naval Aviation School, and he gets accepted. And right as he is about to ship off to go become a pilot, he receives word that his father has been murdered on November 8th, 1939. Easy Eddie had just left his office at the dog track in Chicago and was driving home. And when he pulled up to a stoplight, 2 armed gunmen got out with 12-gauge shotguns and opened fire on him inside of his car.
Damn.
Eddie tried to escape, but he was shot multiple times and ended up veering off and crashing into a light pole, and he would pass away almost immediately from his wounds. Now, technically, we don't actually know who killed Eddie. This is considered a cold case. However, pretty much everybody agrees that it was a mafia because he was assassinated approximately 1 week before Al Capone was set to get out of prison from the tax evasion charges that Eddie helped with in the first place. So everybody just kind of assumed that this was Al Capone's gift for getting out of prison. Now, going back to my original anger with the oversimplified version of the story from blogs and newspapers and magazines and other YouTube videos, when they tell the story, it's like Easy Eddie helps turn in Al Capone and then he is assassinated for it. They fail to mention that he's assassinated like 9 years later, okay, which I feel is kind of an important detail. Okay, setting that aside, Butch takes emergency leave, he comes back home, he buries his father, and this is obviously extremely hard to do because that's his dad that died, but to make it even worse, the newspaper and the media is dragging his father and by extension his entire family completely through the mud. You gotta remember, this is the 1930s, the anti-mafia sentiment is at an all-time high, and because of this, the newspapers and the law enforcement hype anything up they possibly can to make the American public feel safer. They want them to feel like the war against organized crime is being won, and in this case, they hyped up Eddie to be something a lot more than he was. This is where the myth that Easy Eddie was the mastermind, criminal, genius lawyer that kept the entire mafia out of prison came from. That's how the media portrayed him after his death. And did Easy Eddie do some bad stuff? Yeah, absolutely. He enabled the mafia to make money from illegal gambling at dog racing tracks, and he made a bunch of money in the process as well. However, at no point was he the evil mastermind that was keeping Al Capone and all the mobsters out of jail. And having the newspapers vilify him to that degree was devastating to Butch and his family. I mean, yeah, he did some bad things, but he was a great dad to them, and from their perspective, he probably did those bad things to provide for his family. Whether that's right or wrong is a different conversation, but to them, he was still their hero. He was a great guy in their eyes. Not only did they have to deal with the emotional and mental stress of that, but they were also starting to get treated different by their community because now the entire community was looking down on them because Easy Eddie was apparently this evil criminal mastermind, and all the money they have and all the fancy cars and the big house was clearly blood money, and now nobody liked the family either. At this point in time, it would appear that the last name O'Hare was forever going to be associated with the mafia and looked down upon forever. Now, I don't know this for sure because Butch never wrote.
Now, we're gonna skip through a lot of stuff because holy crap, this thing is like a freaking 45-minute thingamadoobs. So we're gonna skip through a lot of stuff. I skipped through like 8 minutes of stuff right now. See if it'll load.
Batch himself shoots down this enemy recon plane, but he didn't get to him fast enough because they got that radio transmission out and the Japanese bombers are already on the way to hit the USS Lexington. They start getting fighters up in the air as fast as they can as 9 Japanese G4M Betty bombers show up, and some of the fighters are already starting to engage the bombers, shooting them down. And Butch O'Hare is the last man slotted to get up in the air. He's sitting there on the flight deck in his Wildcat, fully fueled up, as the bombers are coming in, getting attacked by the other Wildcats, and he's just waiting his turn to get up in the air, hoping that the bombers don't make it and bomb the USS Lexington with him right on top of it in a fully fueled up aircraft. By the time Butch gets up in the air, the combat's basically over. The bombers have been repelled, and most of the Wildcats are still chasing him down down, and they end up shooting down all of them. And then a second wave of bombers gets detected on radar, and this is a humongous problem. You see, all the Wildcats are up in the air, and most of them have been in the air so long that they're out of ammo and fuel, and once those planes return from chasing down that first wave, they're gonna have to land. They're not gonna be able to fight. By the time that second wave gets close, the only planes available with fuel and ammunition able to fight are Butch O'Hare and the guy that went up right before him, Duff DeFillo. So what do? They do the only thing they can do. Butch and Duff get next to each other, and they are about to engage 9 Japanese bombers in a double V formation, and Butch fires his guns just to make sure they're all working, standard procedure. Duff goes to fire his, all of them are jammed. So Duff's out. It is now Butch O'Hare versus an entire formation of Japanese bombers all by himself. He's already running low on fuel, and he only has enough ammunition for 10 3-second bursts with his guns. He does not have enough ammunition to take down all of these planes, and even if he did, he doesn't have the time to do it all by himself. He needs to be as accurate as humanly possible, and that's exactly what he does. Using his expertise in gunnery, he is engaging engines and fuel tanks, and that is it. On his first pass, he manages to knock 2 bombers out of the formation. He then immediately goes into a second pass, engaging the first bomber he sees on the other side of the formation, critically damaging it as well, forcing it to drop its bombs early and peel away. He then engages the next bomber next to it, striking the fuel tank, causing it to blow up in midair. He immediately goes into his third pass, shooting down another 2 bombers before making his fourth pass, engaging another one. And while this is happening, the crew of the USS Lexington is just watching in awe as it unfolds before them. The admiral on board said, and I quote, "All of us on the flight deck and the bridges became so intent watching the aerial battle that it was hard for us to concentrate on our duties. At the time, the entire ship's company burst into cheers as our fighters shot the bombers down into the sea. It was not as though they were in the midst of a life or death struggle, but at a baseball game." After his fourth pass, Butch was completely out of ammunition and almost out of fuel. The 4 remaining Japanese planes dropped their bombs, and all of them missed.
Yes!
All right! That wasn't so hard.
In the span of 4 minutes, Butch O'Hare had pulled off the impossible, going toe-to-toe with an entire Japanese bombing formation, and during that time, he was everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. The entire bombing formation, returning fire on Butch, managed to hit him with a total of 1 bullet. Butch was engaging the enemy so quickly from so many different angles that one of the surviving Japanese pilots said, and I quote, "Enemy planes swirled around us, zooming, banking, diving, attacking us from all directions," not realizing that it was one man.
God damn.
One man.
So the 4 remaining Japanese planes that dropped their bombs and missed, they peel off, they retreat. Butch goes to land, and as he goes to land, he drops his landing gear, and some new guy on the deck opens fire on him with a 50 caliber machine gun. Luckily, it was all misses. Butch gets out of his Wildcat, walks up to the guy that was just shooting at him. It's some new kid that is now just shitting his pants because he almost just killed the hero of the day. And Butch walks up completely cool, and he's like, "Son, I don't mind if you shoot at me. Just try not to do it when my landing gear's down." Which is probably the politest way of calling this kid an idiot to his face imaginable, considering that he just shot at him with a 50 caliber machine gun. Like, "Hey kid, if a plane has its landing gear down and you're on an aircraft carrier, it's probably trying to land on you, meaning it's not an enemy. Why would you shoot at me?" Okay, now the immediate threat is over. This has been like 30 minutes of straight chaos. We've got to figure out what all happened, where everybody's at.
That guy's amazing.
We have to get the planes ready in case there is another attack. There's a lot of stuff to do. So Butch, all the other pilots, and pretty much everybody else who would have seen anything goes in to get debriefed so the chain of command can try to figure out what all happened in this very busy couple of minutes. So Butch goes in and says, "I shot up 7 of those planes really good. I'm pretty sure I downed 6 of them." To which the captain of the USS Lexington is like, "Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and only credit you with 5 because after you pulled off after your last run, there was still 4 bombers in the air that dropped their bombs, and there was originally 9 to begin with. I do think that you shot down the other 5 though, because well, pretty much everybody saw it happen." So now Butch has officially been credited with downing 5 enemy planes. This makes him an ace pilot and the first naval aviator ace of World War II. And at first, Butch doesn't think anything of it. He doesn't regard himself as being special. He doesn't think what he did was incredible. He thought he did exactly what anyone else in VF3 would have done if they were in the exact same situation. As far as Butch O'Hare is concerned, the only thing about that day that was unique to him was that he happened to be in the right place at the right time. He wasn't necessarily the right guy. And then he came out of getting debriefed, and the crew of the USS Lexington had already went down to the machine shop and made him a trophy. He was everybody's best friend. He was the hero of the day that had saved the USS Lexington.
Awesome.
And everybody was in love with Butch O'Hare, America's first ace. The crew of the USS Lexington and the rest of VF3 actually adopted a new drinking song that night as well. It goes something along the lines of, "O'Hare, O'Hare, did the Japanese bombers go? O'Hare, O'Hare, could they be?" Okay, now sidebar, in the spirit of full disclosure, retroactively after World War II, it has been decided that Butch O'Hare actually only shot down 3 enemy bombers on that day. Apparently, this is because the Japanese documented that actually only 3 planes were shot down during that wave, 3 of them returned back severely shot up, and 1 of them apparently got lost in a storm.
You sure about that?
Okay, and this is where I get annoyed, because on one hand, like, yeah, okay, I understand wanting to figure out the truth and clarify things, but also I feel like Americans typically tend to believe what the enemy says happened more than they believe the word of their own men. I mean, when the captain of the USS Lexington looks up in the sky and he's like, 1, 2, 3, there's 4 left, the rest were shot down. I don't know why we're not believing that guy. Why are we believing the Japanese documentation over that? And don't get me wrong, I understand that people make mistakes, and maybe the captain miscounted. Maybe the entire crew that was also watching had a bad account of what happened, because the enemy never ever makes mistakes, just like the enemy that was under the impression that he was getting attacked by multiple planes all at once and they were everywhere all over the place, when in reality it was just Butch up there by himself. Okay, and I know this is crazy and I'm definitely biased, but I'm always going to be more inclined to believe the guys on my team than the enemy. But hey, whatever, I'm not the expert, that's one thing, whatever. Maybe everybody on the USS Lexington miscounted and the Japanese counted right. I guess that is possible. However, I will argue till I die that the Japanese pilot that got shot up by Butch O'Hare and then magically got lost in a storm that none of the other shot up planes managed to get lost in absolutely got shot down by Butch O'Hare. Okay, I don't care if the storm did the last 5% of the damage. Butch should get credit for that. Okay, it's complete lunacy to say anything other than that. I mean, for real, apply this logic to any other situation. Imagine that you're at a party and there's an altercation that breaks out between guy A and guy B, and guy A pulls out a gun, shoots guy B in the chest 17 times, and then guy B falls into the pool. Okay, are we gonna be like, oh, that guy drowned? No, guy A killed guy B. Okay, that's obvious. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I get super annoyed when there's some people that have nothing better to do with their lives than look back and retroactively nitpick and try to undermine the accomplishments of others. Honestly, Butch O'Hare probably wouldn't even care this much because all he cared about was saving his dudes. But also, he's a better man than I am, so Whatever, moving on. Anyway, so over the next couple of days, things kind of return to normal-ish. However, the USS Lexington is still on mission. They're still making their way to Raboul so they can attack this port. And then once they get there, they start launching raids. Now, Butch is pumped. He wants to get back up in the air. He wants more combat. That's what he's here for, right? However, it gets decided by Thatch that Butch and Duff are to stay at the USS Lexington while everybody else goes out and conducts raids. And the theory behind that was, or at least the stated theory as to what Thatch told O'Hare was, hey, we're leaving you guys to defend it because we know if everything goes bad, you two by yourselves can defend the USS Lexington against anything. That's what Thatch told him. In reality, Thatch knew that Butch O'Hare was being put up for the Medal of Honor, and so did the rest of the chain of command, and they knew that they could not afford to let Butch get killed in combat. Okay, this is early 1942. This is 2 months after Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
the
God,
only
yeah.
silver lining, the only good news that America has gotten in the past 90 days was about the Marines and the construction workers making their last stand at Wake Island, and now they've all been captured, either killed or put in internment camps. Okay, America has not had any good news, except now they have the story of Butch O'Hare, the man that became an ace in 4 minutes. Shortly after this, Butch is informed that he's going to be receiving the Medal of Honor, to which he directly tells Thatch, I don't want it. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to have to go back stateside. He wants to stay out there with his men. He still does not feel as though he did anything special. And the man that has been his father figure, his mentor for the past couple of years, basically pats Butch on the shoulder and informs him, too bad. Deal with it. You're a hero now. Now you got to go do that because that's ultimately what's going to be the best for this war effort. And with that, Butch is sent back home stateside where there is both a literal parade for him when he arrives, and he is then metaphorically paraded around the country, conducting interviews, doing anything he can to boost the morale of the American people and the military in the wake of Pearl Harbor. During this metaphorical parade, he makes his way to the White House where he is awarded the Medal of Honor by FDR, and his very own wife Rita is the one that gets to put it around his neck. And all of this is because he was just some fat kid from St. Louis that wanted some donuts but also didn't want to walk very far to get them. And honestly, he's still that fat kid at heart. He's never been the star athlete. He's never had everybody looking at him. He's never stood in the spotlight for this long. And during this time, he is described as modest, humorous, inarticulate, very nice, and more than a little embarrassed by the entire affair. So he gets paraded around the country helping to sell war bonds until about June of 1942. Then VF3 is actually set to come back to Hawaii for some R&R. And while there, VF3's commander John Thatch is set to get a promotion and move on and advance his naval career. And he is going to be replaced by none other than his protege and war hero, Butch O'Hare. On June 19th, 1942, Butch O'Hare formally relieves John Thatch of command of VF3 as he assumes command himself. John Thatch would then go on to say, and I quote, I know of no one I would rather see take my old command into new battles. Of course, referring to Butch O'Hare, and this meant more to Butch than winning the Medal of Honor.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, it's their father
Butch was
figure.
going to get to go back into combat. VF3 had actually been taken, and they are now going to be training all of the new pilots to get ready for war, because America's practice at this point in time was to save all of our best pilots and make them teachers to train the next generation, as opposed to the Japanese who, well, they used up all their good pilots. So Butch and the remaining combat veterans of VF3 start training a bunch of new guys, and Butch officially becomes known as the King of Maui. Because, I mean, he's the war hero, everybody knows his name, he's training all the new guys, he's in charge. This guy is clearly the main character. And this is an important time because he's training the next generation of fighter pilots that he'll eventually take into combat, but he also gets to go home every night and spend time with his wife. And during this period, they end up having their daughter, Kathleen, that he gets to meet in March of 1943. With Butch leading all the training, VF3 became known as Butch's boys, and a lot of these pilots went on to become aces themselves, and they all had incredible things to say about Butch and the lessons that he was able to pass on to them. Then in August of 1943, VF3 was reinstated as VF6, and they were being stationed on the USS Independence, and they were being sent back into the Pacific Theater for combat. But unlike last time, Butch isn't going to have a plane that's outmatched by Japanese Zeros, because him and his men are not getting Wildcats. They're getting the new Grumman F6F Hellcat. And I cannot stress to you enough what a big difference this is. The Wildcat is outmatched by Japanese planes. The Hellcat, on the other hand, will go on throughout the rest of World War II to rack up a 19-to-1 kill ratio. And now Butch and his boys got the new Hellcats, and they proceed to go and fuck shit up. First thing they do is they go and they launch raids on Wake Island and Marcus Island. Butch lands a couple more air-to-air kills, solidifying his status as an ace, even if people like to go back in time and try to discredit some of his kills. Then VF6, now VF3, gets restationed onto the USS Enterprise, and Butch, the war hero, gets put in charge of all 3 squadrons on the USS Enterprise. Okay, here's the problem with that. Butch is now officially a bigwig. He's not supposed to be out there in a Hellcat mixing it up with the enemy anymore. He's supposed to be going up in like a Grumman Avenger, you know, a command plane, so he can see everything, see what's going on, be protected, be safe, be the smart guy up in the tower telling the troops on the ground what to do. Okay, but that's not how Butch gets down, okay? He officially puts in a request that they repaint his Hellcat so that it can be his command and control vehicle, and he's going to do everything from a Hellcat. And obviously, this is Butch O'Hare, the war hero and fighter ace. He's going to get what he wants, and he does just that. Now with Butch O'Hare in charge of over 100 pilots on the USS Enterprise, they go and provide air support to the Marine Corps as they make amphibious landings at Tarawa and Macon Island. And with the help of the new Hellcats, they absolutely crush the Japanese in daytime combat so bad that the Japanese have to ditch the idea altogether. After the Japanese realize they can no longer go toe-to-toe with the American aviators during daylight, they resort to using night tactics. Basically, the Japanese resort to sending torpedo bombers out in the dark of night, launching torpedoes and hoping they hit American ships. Now, it's not super effective because the torpedo bombers can't really aim. However, it's also effective in that the Americans also can't really send planes up to stop them because night fighting at this point in time isn't really a thing. Okay, you gotta realize this is 1943. Radars are still fairly new technology.
Yeah,
they're mostly being used on ground arrays, and recently they're starting to be used on big naval vessels. They can't cram one of these things inside of a fighter plane yet. So at best, all the Americans can do is use the radar on the ship to see the enemies coming and then essentially brace for impact. They're not going to be able to scramble their own fighters to go up without a radar because everything's relative up there, right? Even if the ship tried to tell the planes where the enemy was, like, is that my left or your left? Is that my guy or is that an enemy? They'd end up shooting more of themselves down than they would the enemy. It'd be complete chaos. So that's really all the Americans can do is just hope they miss. That was until Butch came up with a plan. What if we took the Avenger, it's a big plane, we crammed a radar into that, and then sent the Avenger up with a bunch of Hellcats, and then as long as we could stay in formation, we would be able to tell in relation to ourselves where the enemy was. The Avenger could be like the enemies to the left, the enemies to the right, and everybody has the same left, the same right. The Avenger could guide everybody. Now, obviously, if the entire thing devolves into a giant dogfight, we're gonna have a huge issue, but we should be able to ambush them under the cover of night and stay in formation and hopefully not lose it. And we don't need to go chasing kills. We just need to prevent them from launching torpedoes at the ship.
That's
we
very
just need to
smart.
either shoot them down while maintaining our formation, or we just need to scare them off. So Butch gets permission from the chain of command. They shove a radar inside of a Grumman Avenger, and now he starts developing night fighting tactics, and his crew becomes known as the Black Panthers. So in November 1943, they go up for their first night mission, attempting to intercept Japanese bombers. They were unable to find the Japanese bombers at night. However, they didn't get to shoot off their torpedoes, and they got all the planes back on the carrier under the cover of night. So it was deemed a pretty big success. Then November 27th, 1943, they go up for their second night mission. There's 2 Avengers and 4 Hellcats divided into 2 different groups, and they're going to go up there and stop the Japanese bombers. By the time all the American planes get up in the air, the Japanese bombers are so close that the Avengers are having trouble differentiating the radar signatures between the Japanese bombers and the American Hellcats. And before Butch and his wingman can actually find their Avenger and get into formation, Butch's Avenger actually runs into the Japanese bombers first and opens fire. Even though it's not a fighter, it does have some guns, but it's not a lot. Regardless, they're able to shoot down one of the Japanese bombers. And then Butch's Avenger again somehow runs into another Japanese bomber before finding Butch and the wingman, and it shoots that one down too. At this point, it's chaos. There's multiple planes in the air, American and Japanese, and they're in close proximity, and they don't know who is who. So Butch instructs his wingman and the Avenger to both turn on their cabin lights at the same time, so all 3 of them can see each other for a brief moment and be able to get into formation. So they turn the cab lights on for a brief second, they all see each other, then they turn them back off right away. At this point, the crew of the Avenger spots a Japanese bomber above Butch, approaching him from the rear, most likely attempting to shoot him down. They radio to Butch that he has somebody on his tail, and they radio to the other Hellcat to send them forward to take out the bomber. Butch's wingman and the Hellcat speeds up, intercepts the bomber, opens fire, and the bomber opens fire on Butch. The bomber takes heavy damage and veers off into the darkness, at which point the crew and the Avenger radios, "Butch, we got him. Butch, we got him. Come in. Over." And there's nothing. Nobody knows exactly what happened, but it is believed that the bombing crew got a lucky shot off that pierced Butch's canopy, killing him directly without heavily damaging his plane. It is the only thing that would explain why he didn't radio that he had been hit. Despite extraordinary efforts, his remains were never recovered, and he was declared dead 1 year later. In addition to Butch O'Hare, 6 more American pilots would give their lives conducting carrier-based night operations during World War II, utilizing the techniques that Butch O'Hare had helped develop. Those missions are credited with downing 103 Japanese planes that otherwise would have been able to attack defenseless American ships. Butch not only saved lives through his direct actions in combat, but through his expert training of the next generation of naval aviators in World War II, and his help developing groundbreaking techniques like the thatch weave and carrier-based night combat. In conclusion, this is why the airport in Chicago is known as O'Hare International Airport. It's named after a famous man named Edward O'Hare. And no, not the famous mafia lawyer that had ties to Al Capone and was famously assassinated, but rather his son, the man that overcame the sins of his father to become one of the greatest war heroes in American history. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over the Fat.
That is okay. Now that we have that said and done, we're gonna go into the craziness that is my server. We're gonna go into the craziness that is my server with the wildness that is game streaming chat, and we are going to let me make sure everything is running well. Thank you guys for being here, of course. Hope you guys caught the bon nuit. Let's see. Let's go into Je suis la jouvie, motherfucker. I don't even know what that means, but yes, I said it. I said it, motherfucker. Oh God, don't do this to me.
Hello.
Hello, hello. You're always one of the first that pops up. Appreciate that.
So what you said basically means I am and now I completely forgot. Okay.
Je suis la jouvie.
I am here, I live, basically.
You know where I got that from? There used to be I might be aging myself a little bit, but there used to be something a tape course to teach kids French.
All contact with infected individuals.
Excuse me, French, but what the F you say to me?
Wait my ass.
Kill all sons of bitches.
But yeah, that's
my official instruction.
That's what ended up happening. There was like this thing. There was a commercial that would have like a cassette tape, course for kids to learn a bit of French, and that's what they always had in the freaking in the commercial. The commercial they always had when kids says "Je suis la jouvie." I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? But they never said what the hell that means. But they always put it there. I was like, okay, it means something. It means enough, I guess. I don't know. But what the fuck you call me? What you say to me? The internet tells me I'm autistic, so I'm autistic. Nah, but the doctors told me I'm autistic, so that's why I'm autistic. But But oh my I took that test. I did not expect to get almost a perfect score on the test. I mean, I knew I was autistic, but I didn't expect to get almost a perfect score on that test. Like, seriously, I did not expect that at all. I almost got a perfect score on that damn test. It's hilarious.
Oh, come on, man. I'm getting bored up here. Get me out of here. Hey, you guys have fun out there without me? Hey. Much obliged.
There we are. Thank you for reviving me. I didn't even know I was dead, but thank you. God damn it.
First aid kit.
Yeah, get that first aid kit. Heal yourself. One of you guys needs to heal yourselves. Ah, crap. There's more.
Careful.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Oh, shit. I didn't see you. I didn't see you at all.
Jump scare.
That was actually a jump scare for me. Oh, fuck. Oh, crap.
Isn't Left 4 Dead technically horror survival?
Yes, it technically is horror survival, and I need to freaking escape this guy. Get the fuck away from me! Get away from me! What's this? What's this? I probably am gonna need this, honestly, to revive one of the people, wherever they are. Oh, fuck you. Oh, you fucking shit. I'm gonna have to get you out of here, because, like, if not, we're all gonna die.
Just this once. Hello. First aid kit here. We got a smoker.
I'm running. Fuck this. I revive people, but fuck this shit. Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Ah, shit. Oh, I'm dead. We're so dead. I'm not surviving this. I am not surviving this with this weapon. I am not oh, nope, I'm dead. I was like, yeah, I'm not surviving that with this weapon. I am absolutely not surviving that with this weapon. Yeah. But yeah, like, I just took that test just for the shits and giggles, but also to let you guys know, yeah, I wasn't lying when I said I was freaking autistic. Holy shit. Certified autistic. Certified autist. Artist, no. Autist, yes.
Maybe even acoustic.
Maybe even acoustic a little bit, yes.
Oh, good. Now we can die there as adults.
Fucking shit. How do I miss? Okay, I didn't miss it.
JV, yeah, there is friendly fire.
Reloading.
There is friendly fire, yes. There's always friendly fire in these damn games. It's really annoying. But they have made it so that friendly fire does not do anywhere near as much damage as the actual zombies do. So that's one of the benefits. Yes, you have friendly fire, but it's like for every shot, it's only like one or something, you know? It's only like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, God. Both of you got, okay. I'm with newbies. I can tell I'm with newbies. I thought they were right behind me, but they weren't. I can tell I'm with newbies. I'm dead. Yep, I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, I was with newbies. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Like, we're not gonna get anywhere. Like, I don't mind being around some newbie peoples. Like, I'm not the best person either. So, JV, shotgun is not as deadly to humans in this game. No, it would be, especially with the spread that a normal shotgun has, it would definitely be a one-hit kill. But right now, it's not. It's not a one-hit kill. I had to turn on my AC really, really early today, and it's like I've had it on for like 6 hours, and I want to see if I can shut it off soon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the temperature of my area, and let's see.
Reloading. Hey, watch out! Everybody grab a weapon. Hey, you guys spin them around if you want.
All right, it's 69 degrees. I'm gonna open the window and nice, yeah, the perfect number. But it's cold enough that the air coming in. Oh shit! Nope, don't want to do that yet. Nope. My AC has a thing. It's been around for like what 3-4 years. I think it probably one of the yeah, I've had it for like 3 or 4 years. It's a window unit. I bought it myself. But it has a thing where I think maybe one of the escapes, whatchamacallits, the drip feed, the drip pan, whatever stuff, is bad or something. Because if I don't leave it on, like the fan on for like an hour or so, it will smell like damp. You know that smell when something's damp and it just like stays that way for a bit. That's the way it smells.
If I'm not mistaken, you're supposed to clean the window units. You're supposed to clean them every year before use.
Fuck, I've never cleaned the fucking things.
Yeah, there are filters that you're supposed to remove and clean.
Oh no, I clean those like weekly. It's because of
and for the drip pan, that you'd need to be a technician to actually open it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I don't mess with that one. The one thing I am thinking of doing is just like opening more holes to let it just drip more. You know what I mean?
That could be dangerous, actually.
True, because I could actually go through one of the actual like Freon, like the Freon whatever stuff.
Yeah, and not just that, you could also end up just letting the water just drip onto the electric.
Any electrics that it has. Yeah, because the drip pans are you're right. The drip pans are kind of made for a reason, the way that they are.
Everybody grab a weapon. Reload.
Little sister, you got to learn to shoot.
So yeah, that's why I usually don't mess with it, because I'm like, that's expensive to replace, and if it's expensive to replace, I sure as hell am not gonna mess with it.
Yeah, and if it's a unit from a few years ago, you might not even be able to replace it.
Yeah, I know. Like I'd have to buy it. I'd have to buy a new one, which would probably be more efficient, to be honest with you. But like I'm not made of money, so I have no lie, I have in my bank account I have like $25 to my name. So I don't think I can find even a used one for $25 nowadays. Oh, you fucking shit.
Reloading.
Like when I bought it, it was like 230 or something like that. But I bought one of those 1500 BTU ones, so I knew it would absolutely be able to cool my room as my computer was on. Because I could have bought like the 500 BTUs and that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I bought like a 1500. What?
Yeah, the 1500 BTUs are actually intended for a few rooms. So
yeah,
definitely enough for a room with a computer.
Yeah, because like I have a Ryzen 9. I have a Ryzen 9 overclocked, and I have a 3080 as well. Yeah, so
no,
this thing heats up my room like you wouldn't. Yeah.
Overclocked CPUs tend to be able to cook things.
Yes. Literally cook things. Yes.
You put a pan on it and cook an egg.
Exactly. And with everything that I've got running in here, yes, my PC is. It could be my PC could start at 70 degrees and it'd be outside like 50 something degrees, and it'll get to 90 degrees in my room really fast. That's why I have that one.
At least you don't need a space heater in winter.
Oh no, I don't need a heater at all in winter. At all. I just need my PC on. Pretty much that's it.
Yeah.
And even go ahead.
And it would actually use up a bit less electricity.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, because the heaters are they use up a lot of electricity. Because heaters, what a lot of people don't know, the space heaters and all those that have the coils and stuff, they work on resistance. They work on extreme resistance. Basically, it's electricity trying to go through those coils, and there's so much resistance that it causes a lot of heat. So there's a lot of inefficiency there. A lot of inefficiency there.
Yeah, it's actually designed to be inefficient. Usually the coils are ceramic, because ceramic is actually not a good transmitter of electricity.
Yeah.
And also, space heaters are technically called resistance heaters.
Yeah, I believe that definitely. That's all they work on. They work on the whole thing of resistance.
Yeah. And those coils are supposed to be changed every few years because they do degrade with the electricity going through. Because, well, ceramic is not a material intended for use with electricity.
Absolutely. It's just used because it's the cheapest thing you can.
Yeah. In fact, ceramic and glass used to be used for insulators for the low voltage lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We used to have those in the house, like when we redid, because me and my father went up and redid the attic space, and yeah, we had those little looked like cups, and they had wires sort of like going around them, and I was like, this house is that old? Then we looked it up, and yeah, the house is from like 1914. I'm like, holy, what the fuck? We redid a lot of it, of course. So the house we have now is not from 1914. The house we have now is much newer, and so is the electricity in there, because that's a fire hazard.
One thing you need to be careful with those insulators is they're actually very brittle. They break easily. So when manipulating them, you need to be extremely careful, and usually you should wear gloves when handling them.
Oh yeah. What we did is that we made sure we weren't touching anything metal. We wore those I think it was called electrical technician gloves or something like that. We actually spent a good amount of money on them.
The very heavy-duty gloves.
Yeah, we wore the heavy-duty gloves. My dad's like, there's probably, look, we are in a 120 volt area. He's like, we're probably not gonna get hurt. We're probably just gonna get a shock, but it's better not to. I don't want you to get shocked. He's like, you're my son. I don't want you to get shocked. So we're gonna wear this, even though it costs us a couple hundred. We're gonna wear this. And it helped because we used it a couple more times. Yeah. You guys in Canada though, you guys have 240, don't you?
We have both 120 and 240.
Oh damn.
240 is medium voltage.
Yeah.
And we also have 120 volts for the low voltage.
Yeah.
And they are separated. There's
nice.
And they literally are. One is higher than the other on the poles. So the medium voltage is actually at the highest point.
Ah, okay.
Dark, with ceramic insulators at the top. And then there's the low voltage one, which is lower with all of the telecom cables. Ah,
okay. For us, it is we use two-phase. Well, I think now it's tri-phasic, but it used to be two-phase, where we would have the line coming into the house is 240, but at the breaker it gets switched to 110. Don't ask me how they do it, but that's the way it's been done over here. I forget why they did it. I watched a video on why they did it over here in the US, but that's the way it's been since like freaking forever.
But yeah, here we actually get 120 volts in the house with for the stove. Actually, yeah, the stove is the only one. Actually, the fridge too. Those are special outlets that actually increase the voltage.
Ah, okay. One thing that they have started doing over here... What's up, Scotty? No, what's up, what's up? One thing that they have started doing over here is they have started doing GFCI. Which is basically... it's ground fault circuit intercept or something it's called, I believe. Which is basically... It's a circuit breaker for each connection. So basically, if they use it primarily, I think now the newer rules pretty much have it anywhere where there could be moisture or any kind of contact with water. They have those now, but before it was just required in new installations of bathrooms or of it's always been for bathrooms, but also for places like the kitchen. Now in the kitchen is pretty much they require it now. But like for example, we redid a couple things again since we're just pretty much do-it-yourself type of people. We did a couple things to make it so that we have GFCI in the bathroom now, like newer GFCI, because we had the old school GFCI, the one that had like the red and black buttons. If you're here in the US, you would know about those. We had those, yeah.
There we have those in Canada too. But here in Canada, they're also required outside.
Ah, yes. My brother's home is the same way. My brother had a home that was made in like the 2000s, like 2014, something like that, 2014, 2015. His has the same thing. Outside, every single one of them has a breaker. Every single one of them has one of those breaker outlets outside because there's moisture. There's a possibility of rain. There's a possibility of those. In our house as well, we had this done professional. Yeah, we had some of them done professionally. Where yes, pretty much every outlet that is outside at all, even if it's under like the cover of a canopy or whatever, it's all has the GFCI.
Hey, I'm reloading.
Because we just don't want to take the risk of getting a shock. Like, you know, like kids can be using those to connect things or whatever at any point in time. We don't want a shock to happen anywhere.
And usually when you're changing in a room, changing anything that has to do with the electric system, you're supposed to change all of the wiring as well.
Oh yeah,
Which is why you should always ask for a certified electrician to take a look.
What we did is what was it? It was a while back now. Maybe by now, maybe 14, 15 years ago, we had the majority of our house rewired. Because number one, the main reason why we did it is that a lot of our, you know, we would turn on the microwave and it would make a freaking breaker, you know, bust because it's made for the 70s and the microwaves in the 70s didn't have 1,000 watts. Now you have 1,000-watt microwaves and you have freaking really high, you know, wattage everything. So we had everything redone because we were like, yeah, we're gonna have things redone. We're not gonna risk a fire. It cost us a pretty penny. I think it cost us something like $30,000 to do because it was a full redo of everything. But you know, it was worth it.
The electrical system is extremely expensive because you have to change all of the wiring from the breaker.
Yep.
From the breaker box and from every single junction box. And if it just so happens that the junction box were just plastered over with basically the gypsum put over the box without any opening, they have to cut them open and put a door in, which is added onto it.
Okay, you're very right, Lunar, and thank you as well, Spencer Howard, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And they're saying US and Canada both use split phase or twin phase. Yeah. What we had the guy do is that we had the people where they were like, yeah, this is good for just basic stuff, but you guys are using a lot more, you know, more amps and stuff like that with all your electricity. He's like, we could go overboard with, you know, the wiring, as in prepare it just in case if in the future you guys need more, or we could go the cheap way. And we're like, what's the difference? The cheap way and the other way was like $10,000 a difference, which is still a lot. But we're like, if we're doing it, we're gonna do it right. So we had them go. It's basically everything has been over engineered. Like the wiring that has the 20 amp whatever is built for like 25 or 30 amp. The ones that have 5 amp is built for like 10 amp. You know, it's over engineered on purpose because if not, because that way we were 100% sure that it will work. And 100% sure that we're not going to cause a fire. That's the big worry we have. Buy once, cry once, yes.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that in the building codes, it is they actually require they call it a safety, basically. For circuits that are designed for, say, 20 amps, they're supposed to be 25.
Yeah.
In order that 5 amps is there as basically a stopgap measure to
safety precaution. Yep.
Yeah, basically, because people don't know. Most people are dumb, and they're not gonna check what their outlets are rated for.
No, they're just gonna plug things in.
Yeah, and more often than not, they will overplug.
Oh yeah.
They will put everything on the same plug, even though there are 2 plugs. They will put everything on the same.
I hate that. I'm in IT, so I see this a lot. I absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate that. What ends up happening a lot of times, especially in the IT field, you have people who, like you said, we have you know, high voltage outlets as well. We have like high amperage outlets that are meant to be used by computers and stuff. They'll plug like freaking 20, 30 different things with daisy chaining, what do you call them? The you know, daisy chaining extensions, daisy chaining a bunch of stuff. And we're like, dude, you have like 20 different outlets here. You don't need to daisy chain a goddamn thing. You're causing a fire hazard.
Yeah, and also just putting 2 extensions into one another is actually a fire risk as well.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It says so. It says on the packaging not to plug 2 extensions into one another or an extension into a multi-tap.
Yeah. No. You're not supposed to plug extensions. Like extensions are just an extension for one connection, unless they have a multi-tap extension. Then you can do several connections. But those are rated usually. Like I have a multi-tap extension that can do I think up to 3 or 4. That thing is super thick, but that's because it's rated for that.
Yeah, usually it's a very big gauge.
Yeah.
For the wire, so.
And what I do is I have one of those like little ones that have like an like a laser pointer type thing, but for laser pointer heat gun. I have one of those because I got freaking freaked out by some electrician channel or some shit that was like, be careful with your extensions because they could get super hot. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Now I'm scared. I've already got anxiety to begin with. Now you're telling me I could cause a fire just by connecting something to an extension? That's what my brain thought. So I got one of those, and I checked it, and yeah, it doesn't get very hot. It gets maybe to like 10 degrees above ambient, so that's not a lot. 10 degrees C above ambient, that's not a lot.
Most indoor extensions are actually over. They have large amounts of safety, and so you can actually they're rated is not the actual amount. They're rated for X amperage, but in reality they take Y amperage.
Yeah, exactly. It can take a lot more, but they will never advertise it because they know people are fucking stupid.
Yeah, if you advertise something, people will go to that number. They will go for the bigger number.
They'll go exactly to the edge and sometimes a little bit over.
Yeah. So for extensions, you can plug them into the wall and plug your multi-tap into the extension, but you cannot do it the other way around.
Yeah, no.
Basically, you can bring your multi-tap to where you need it, but that's it. You can bring the power to where you need it.
You can't do multi-tap to multi-tap to multi-tap, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah, no, because multi-taps are actually engineered to actually never overload the outlet itself.
Yep.
They're actually under-engineered. They will never exceed. But if you plug multiple multi-taps into the same outlet, then it will exceed it, and that's when you have fire hazards and you trip the circuit breakers.
Spencer Howard says the NA electric system is so cooked. It's like we have 240 volt 10 amp outlets. Yeah, in freaking Europe you guys do, definitely. The NA side is really cooked though. But the thing is, like, that's a scary thing. I think my headcanon, this is just my headcanon, was always that the US electric system was created for idiots. Basically, they knew people were going to be idiots and hurt themselves, so they made it so that they wouldn't be able to kill themselves immediately by having it 110. That is just my headcanon. Australia.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the headcanon that has always been stuck in my head. It's like, yeah, we know we could do 240 because they could have done 240. I mean, we had 240 straight to the home, like to the circuit breaker, the main breaker. It gets 240, and then after that it's split. We could do that, but I guess I'm pretty sure people were like, people are fucking stupid over here. Let's make it easier and less dangerous, and let's do it this way instead. So yeah, that's what it ended up happening over here. And like, I mean, it's enough so that like me and my father were able to do it. So we never got shocked because we always made sure that the main breaker was not only off but disconnected. If we were doing anything like in any of the house, it was like fully disconnected from the electricity.
If you have to do anything that is even remotely related to electricity, you turn off the main breaker, but you also turn off the breaker for the room.
Yep, just in case if there's any extra electricity in the circuit.
And it's not for every home, but if your home actually outside, there might be a switch box, that basically a massive switch. You can also throw that as a third precaution.
Yeah, some do have that. Like it's kind of like from what I've heard, it's kind of like a fire switch in the sense of if there's an electrical fire and the firefighters have to go in there. There's a switch that they can pull, like in that way, like how some race cars have that for fuel. It's kind of that sense from what I've heard that some houses have that, especially the newer ones. Kind of like an emergency services kind of like auto shut-off thing.
Although you need to be careful, some are going to be freely, freely. They're going to be in a box in order to prevent people from just throwing it themselves.
Yeah.
But sometimes the box will be locked. If it's locked, don't try to break it because that means it actually is intended only for the emergency service.
Yeah,
they have the key to open it.
Yeah, they have the key to open it. A lot of times, I think it's like for buildings, newer buildings, and multi-family homes. I think have that as well. Ours, what they did for ours, which was because we had asked for it specifically, they said we could have everything connected to your old box, or we could have your old box still be the old box with new breakers, of course, everything rewired there, and have internal breakers for basically like for your access. It's not like specifically to cut off everything, but it cuts off. It's still, I don't know how they did it, but they did it so it still cuts off a lot of the house stuff, like individual rooms, and the outside is mainly for like the big house stuff, like the back and the other stuff like that. But the inside we have a breaker just in case if there's, you know, something we have to do in any one of the rooms for any reason, or something like trips, which it has occasionally during spikes of, you know, lightning storms and stuff like that. Sometimes they've broken, which is good. I prefer the breaker to if we actually had a lightning storm and it broke one of our breakers, we're like, good, that's like $40 instead of like $1,000 to fix a damn thing. Like, well, it's not $40, it's more like $200, but it's like $200 instead of thousands to fix all the wiring after that breaker that broke. It fried. It almost melted.
Okay, yeah, for a breaker to fry like that, yeah, that was like 10 to 100 times the actual the load that it could take. Because breakers are not fuses. Fuses are designed to break.
Yeah, no, breakers are just they trip. Yeah, breakers will just like turn off. It's like a switch, they'll turn off.
Yeah. So for it to actually to no longer work, yeah, that you basically had the entire the lightning struck probably a pole nearby, and it sent the entire current straight into the box. And
oh yeah,
as soon as it was slightly above, it tripped, and well, the current just keeps trying to go, so it will break. It will melt it literally.
Yeah, it melted only one side, like the one side where it was coming in. So it protected the whole freaking circuit, but it burned itself. And what we had done is, because we have a friend who was a firefighter. Well, we had one. He moved, so we don't have contact with him. But we had a friend who was a firefighter. He's like, oh yeah, we have one of those thermal cams. If you want, we can take a look and see if there's anything going on, you know, like right after it happened. It's like we're worried if, you know, some of our wires maybe got burned. We'll take a look and see if there's any residual heat or anything like that, any scorching inside that maybe, you know, embers, anything like that. He took a look, nothing. So that thing just burned itself. It sacrificed itself for the greater good. Yeah. Pretty much.
That's their job.
Yep. And like I said, I'd rather have, you know, to pay $200 for a good breaker and have it work that way than pay thousands of dollars because I decided to go cheap on a breaker, you know?
Yeah. Also, the way they managed to separate the outside and the inside is they wired the main electrical box for the inside into it.
Yeah.
And the outside, they disconnected it from the main box and put it into the new box. So basically, that breaker box acts also as a junction box.
Yeah, it pretty much is its own junction box. And that one, of course, all new breakers, all new everything. It's its own little box. It's a professional box. It isn't anything like created by the people who did it. It's like its own, like, it even has like the certification number and all that kind of shit. So you're like, whoa, okay. Because we wanted it to be done right. We're like, if we're gonna pay this much money, it has to be done right. No corners cut, no nothing. We're getting this thing done right. And yeah, it was done right. We took a loan and everything. We had to freaking take a loan against the house because we didn't have. Who the hell has $30,000 to fix something like that? Took a loan against the house. It's paid off and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I told my parents. My parents were like, "Oh, well, they can do it for like a third of the price." I'm like, "Yeah, but you're gonna have problems later on." And now, like what, 10, 15 years later, they're like, "Oh God, yeah, that helped us out." Like actually paying the full price.
Yeah. So when it comes to banks, if it's something that will add value to a home, they will almost always give the money.
Yeah.
Because, and especially if it's something that is for safety, like
they can use that to sell. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sell it saying that the
it's up to
the
code.
electrical
It's up to
system
like the
was
this.
redone
Yeah.
up to code. Yeah. And it actually it's a plus. It's added value.
Oh yeah, it definitely adds a ton of value. And that's what I told my parents. I was like, look, you guys want to live in this house for the rest of your lives, right? They're like, yeah. It's like technology goes up, the wattage rating of a lot of things is gonna go up. Yes, efficiency now luckily is being pushed, so that helps. But back then I was like, it's going to cost you guys a lot more in the long run to not do this. Because you could have a fire, you could have, you know, wires burning, because the wiring was like from the 70s. It had been over 40 years since the wiring had been changed, and who knows if they cheaped out on that. I'm like, you want it done right, so let's get it done right. Let's do that if I have to, because I had a good job at that point. It's like, if I have to, I'll help you guys pay for this. You know, I use my credit to kind of, you know, also get like a stopgap loan kind of thing, like to pay them, to at least give them like a down payment. And then after that, we got the house thing done. But yeah, it was a lot of money. But I am sure that wiring, especially, you know, it was up to code, it was beyond code, is going to go for about 50 years.
And if the electricians actually did their job properly, usually they will always go much higher in provision of revisions of code in order to keep it compliant longer.
Yeah.
So the 50, it's 50 to 75 and sometimes longer.
Yeah, exactly. So because they told us, it's like, look, it's going to take you, because I told you, we wanted it to be over-engineered, pretty much. They told us, look, we can do it this to be into the code of when your house was built and just have new wiring, or we can have it to the code right now, or we can over-provision it even beyond the code. I said, can you over-provision it to like 5 amps beyond the code? And they're like, yeah, we can do that. And that's what they did. And I'm glad that they did. Because, like, my computer pulls like a good, on when I'm busy doing stuff like I'm doing right now, it could pull 700 watts. And the old system that we had, that would trip the breaker all the time. It would either trip our breaker over here or some breaker in somewhere else. You know, and that was the issue. Once things, like I said, once things started getting like freaking 3080s and all that kind of stuff, and the i9s, the Ryzen 9s are overclocked and everything, it's not going to be super efficient. Like, let me just tell you right now, just playing Left 4 Dead 2, outside, like, out of my computer, we're having 55°C air being put into my room. 55°C air. And that isn't anywhere, like, that isn't the heat, like, directly from the CPU. That's the heat after the exchanging of you know, heat to air and heat to water, because I have an AIO cooler, all-in-one cooler. So that's after all those inefficiencies are lost. It's still 55 degrees that's being shot into my room. Now you know why my computer gets to 90 degrees sometimes, Fahrenheit. Like, almost 40 degrees centigrade. And just doing like regular stuff, it'll be in the 40°C of air coming out of my freaking computer. It'd be worse if I had like an i9. But those i9s are super inefficient. The i9s themselves can pull 200, like 250, 300 watts. 400, the i9 14900K, I think it pulled up to 400 watts. Just in and of itself. That's insanely inefficient.
Weapons.
But they did it. They did it because they wanted more power, more speed, for just being able to say they have a lot of speed. You know, for bragging rights. That's what I was telling my parents. I was like, this is an investment into the future of the house in case if you ever want to sell it. But also, like, let's just say for argument's sake, they want to give it to grandchildren. They want it to be something that can be given as, you know, something in the future for grandchildren. Then you don't have to worry about your grandchildren spending that money. Now that money's been spent for years. And we redo our roof every 20 years, just because, you know, you want to make sure it's safe. And 20 years is a pretty good age for a roof. Roofs don't last 100 years like they used to.
Yeah.
They used to last 100 years. Nowadays, You're lucky if you get 20.
100 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roofs, if they are made well, should last 30 to 35 years.
Yeah. We get middle of the road, like roof shingles and stuff like that, like the regular tar shingles. We don't get the super cheap stuff, but we don't get the super expensive stuff either. We get middle of the road. So probably 20 years.
Yes.
Come on, people, get your asses in here.
Even with the better quality ones, you don't want to reach that 30 to 35 years.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have it.
You want to change it like around 25 years.
And the other issue you're gonna have is that it's gonna be hard to replace because the shingles are just gonna be cracking everywhere.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
You're right, Gerard. They can sell it for a higher value. Luckily, they're not going to be selling anytime soon. This is quite literally the retirement home, and I've told them because they're like, you're going to get the house, and because because I take care of them, and I'm actually here to take care of them and all that kind of stuff. My brother, my sister were like, yeah, you're going to be getting the house. I'm like, cool, and I told them, look, here's what we're going to do. This is my word, but I want this in a contract as well, just to protect you guys, because sometimes people, I don't know how I'm going to be 20, 30 years from now. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm going to be the same person, but you never know. Sometimes, minds can change. Contract is going to make sure my mind never changes. The contract that we have, which was notarized and everything, says that as long as any of my parents are alive, the surviving one always will stay until their death into the house as long as I am alive as well. As long as I'm still in control of the house, they will forever stay in the house. Even if we have to get at-home care or anything like that, they will never, ever be kicked out of the house. And the agreement is that we'll get at-home care instead of sending them to, a home or anything like that. Because, I also feel, I don't trust homes. I've had my grandfather in a convalescent home. I don't like him. None of our family likes him. It's just if we couldn't afford anything more. But we don't like convalescent homes at all. Because they don't care for people. They're just pretty much getting the money and then they just freaking, that's it.
Yeah.
So I told my parents, I'm like, I don't care if I have to get a second job. I'm keeping you in the house. Like, you're not leaving this house. You're leaving the house dead. But, I didn't mean that as a threat. I meant that as, like, you're just gonna die, and then that's it. Because imagine telling your parents, you're leaving this house, but you're leaving this house dead. That sounds like a threat. It's not a threat, though.
Yeah.
Not a threat, it's a promise. That sounds wrong, too.
Oh, God. That sounds even worse.
That sounds worse. Bitch, turn around. I'm gonna kill you. I did kill it, luckily. But yeah, we started talking about houses for whatever reason.
Hello.
That's... What's up?
Nada.
Good having you around. We're talking about houses and how we over provisioned our wiring because we don't want to be in a fire. Oh, talking about fires. That just made me think of something. There was a time when I couldn't help my parents out, and we had paid someone to do our roofing and all that kind of stuff because, of course, I don't want my like 50-year-old dad to be on the roof or anything like that. So we paid someone to do it. They were also painting the house as well. So in some parts there's a little bit less wood and the nail stick, so they were grinding the wood the nails down. Somehow it got into our attic, and I guess got into like a lint ball or a dust ball or whatever, and it caught the attic on fire. Luckily, because we had we had the roof done and everything, what is insulation? Is fire retardant insulation. So it's just smoldering. But there was enough smoke to scare the crap out of us. We called the fire department. They closed down the whole damn street because they were assuming it was going to be a fully engulfed fire. And just in case if it did become a fully engulfed fire, because we can do that, we can absolutely do that. They closed down the whole neighborhood, had the big old fire trucks with the, like 20 different freaking fire engines and stuff. Neighbors were like, what the hell's happening? They saw smoke coming out of our house. I was like, holy crap. So they come in, and the nice firefighters, being wonderful people that they are, they tell us, look, there's going to be water, And also, is it alright if we open a hole in your ceiling in order to get to where we need to? It's like, as long as you put the fire out, you can open as many holes as you want. Just get the fire done. But they were like nervous asking us, it's like, because I guess there are people who are like, hell no, you're not gonna do this to my roof. You're not gonna do this to my stuff. This is my house. But no, we were like, dude, you guys are doing your job. You're gonna save our life. So yeah, go ahead and do whatever the hell you want. So yeah, they opened a hole in the roof. They looked also, like I said, they use a FLIR camera, which told them where the hotspot was. They opened it right near where the hotspot was. They didn't have to open a hole in the roof, but they opened a hole in the ceiling to have access to the area. And yeah, they let it out. There wasn't any water damage we had to deal with. They did it. I don't know how the hell they did it, but they did it pretty freaking fast. Within like maybe an hour, it was done. And they even were kind enough to put a tarp over our new sofas so that they wouldn't get like dirt and dust and stuff on them. So I was like, dude, you guys went above and beyond. We gave them like bottles of water, we gave them like snack bars, like the granola bars and stuff. We're like, you guys did an amazing job. Is this all right if we give you some of this stuff? It's like, oh no, we don't need any of that stuff. I'm like, really, we insist. You guys saved our house. They're like, okay. They got some water bottles, they got some granola bars, and then they just went on their merry way. Of course, you know, the inspector, whatever, came in, the fire marshal came in and take a look at everything, said, yeah, the building's safe, you know, our house is safe to live in, blah, blah, blah. Because it was just that freaking hole that was there, pretty much.
Oh.
But yeah, that was crazy. I was like, holy crap. It's insane how crazy the whole freaking fires can, because a fire can engulf a house really fast. And that's what the firefighter told us. It's like, look, we could go the hard way, which would make it much harder for you guys. And it would probably cause more damage because the fire would actually happen. Or we could just go the easy way and open this. They opened I would say maybe a 6 foot by 4 foot so that they can climb up into it. But we were like, yeah, fuck it. Just go in. Just freaking go in.
Yeah, maybe let's not challenge that right now. Let's get everybody to 60 first.
Yeah, safety first. I was like, fuck that. And that's one of those things that we were like, oh goodness, thank goodness it wasn't an electrical fire, because they also asked us, like, how is your electrical? We're like, oh, at that point in time, we had it done like 5 years prior. It's like, oh yeah, it's been done 5 years prior. It's like, good, because this house is old. That electrical would have probably caused more issues later on. We probably would be back.
Salvi.
What happened?
Have you ever heard of reverse osmosis?
Yes, I have. That's a good water treatment way, isn't it?
Yes, I pretty much want that, because I don't think we have reverse osmosis, so I'm gonna try to, because I need that.
Most houses don't have it.
No, I'm gonna try to get that shit installed, because we do have a filter, but I don't know if it's reverse osmosis.
If it's a small filter, no, it's not. Reverse osmosis is.
It goes.
Yeah.
It goes under. It's under the whatchamacallit, the thingy.
Is it a big filter or a small filter?
I could show my screen.
Because depending on the size, because reverse osmosis is a bigger filter from what I've seen. I don't know if they've changed recently, but I looked up one for the house. Just for a full whole home one, it's pretty big. But for under sink, it's reasonably. I think it usually has 2 filters. I think.
Oh no! Look, it's like this big. It's not as big, but as you can see, that's the filter. Is this it?
Honestly, that looks like just a regular sand filter, basically.
Yeah. So it's. Because I mean, they could also range on how many liters per hour or whatever you want it to do. They could range also on how many gallons that they're going to be, fully filtering, or how often you need to actually, go through and do the maintenance for it. But reverse osmosis was something that I wanted to do because it is a very professional way of and very safe way of getting your water cleaned. some places have really good well water, and some places have really good water overall, but not every place is gonna have that, and that's where reverse osmosis comes in. Absolutely.
I may have to like try to do that in the summer.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad idea. Like I said, it's good because it's healthier, it's safer.
I'm gonna try to just try to get my grandma like to it. Like that we could just change and get reverse osmosis into our house.
For us, it was a price because it was just cheaper for us to get just what we ended up getting is one of those like professional like under sink ones, not the regular like Brita ones. We got like the ones that like restaurants use. Got a restaurant level one.
I have the one. I have the one under the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
I have that. That's what I have.
We got one that the restaurants use, and that is like, it filters something like 30,000 gallons of water or something before it needs to have the filter change. We're like, yeah, we're probably never gonna run into a filter change. We don't use water that much. We've actually been doing what we can to prevent too much water usage.
I've also been drinking. I'm gonna show you what I've been drinking. They have this in the store, and it's actually. Because I don't drink, I tell my grandma don't get insured because my great grandma has dementia. So she needs her. So I'm just gonna show you a picture of what I've been drinking.
Yeah.
This is actually better. Look what it has.
Crime junkie gremlins. My mom's side is the walking personality of snooty, rich, and powerful family trope. But in Gotcha and Wattpad, oh god. You have an interesting family there, Lucy.
Also, I have this one, which actually has... Reminds me. So that's what I drink for my protein. It's actually good. Stuff like that actually get boosts your immune system and stuff, which I need.
Yeah.
I have a weak immune system. I just wish I lived like somewhere like Cali so like that I could like grow my own mushroom. I wonder if I could do that in New York. I'd go.
New York is known for not having great water. I know that.
Yes, which is why reverse osmosis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I remember when I went and visited my cousin in New York, because he lives there. Been living there for like at least 10 years. Yeah, it's been at least 10 years now.
I've lived there. I lived there since I was born. So
yeah, he's like, just don't drink.
I don't want to move.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just move to like Texas, but I always want to move to Texas. If not, Florida. No, I'm good.
Yep, you do have us all, Lucy. I'm here to bite your kneecaps. That's what I'm here for.
Smoke around these parts.
Everyone else will heal you. I'll just bite your kneecaps.
Why the kneecaps though? Why not the ankles?
Because the kneecaps hurt more. I mean, I want them to walk, but feel like they shouldn't. Because if you bite the ankles, then they may not be able to walk because of the Achilles tendon thing. But if you bite their kneecaps, they're going to be able to walk, but with a lot of pain.
Oh, come on. Hey, can y'all cover me? I gotta heal.
Right.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
We got a hunter.
Look out!
Can run faster than you. Interesting. No worries, no worries, no worries, Lucy. You good.
We got pills here.
Lucy, take those intrusive thoughts into the back alley and beat them up.
Safe house down the street.
I thought you were gonna say like sodomize them or something. I don't know.
Nah.
Inside now. They ain't taking us alive.
Lucy, just remember, those intrusive thoughts are not dictating anything about your life.
Absolutely,
you are the one who
absolutely.
dictates everything about your life. I mean, you won't hear them if they're gagged, so...
Well, that is very true. That is very true.
Dang it. Hope she feels better.
Oh, let me actually like.
Michi is sick. It's like every week, she gets sick.
Very true.
And getting sick in this day and age. The healthcare system in the freaking states are fucking dumb.
Oh, the healthcare system absolutely sucks. Absolutely sucks.
It's fucking shit. I do want to like move out of here and see to go.
I can absolutely understand that. Like wanting to move somewhere else. I could absolutely understand that.
Well, sorry.
Go.
Okay. So June 11th. All right. I gotta at least bookmark this. I want to try to cop this as my first ever. This pre-order will ship November. Oh, okay, never mind. We get live for that dog.
All covered in blood, just how Mother intended. Just how Mother Nature intended, full of blood. Blood, guts, and everything all over my face. Exactly how Mother intended.
Like a 10-foot tall monster.
Did you know that if there's enough iron in it, the water will feel and act just like blood?
Interesting.
Yeah. There was actually an instance of it in nature, and it's Antarctica's blood river.
Yeah.
You should find it.
I've seen it.
I've seen
yeah, it's kind of
river
weird.
That was so rich in iron that it basically was blood.
Yeah, it's like an ancient water. I think it's like it's old ass, like not even from the ocean water. From if I remember correctly.
Which way to go?
My gun isn't here, god damn it. The gun I'd like isn't here. For everything. Just random shit, sorry.
It's not actual blood. It's just water with a lot of iron.
And I mean, when you talk about a lot of iron, that's a lot of iron.
Yeah.
The Cullens want to know where it is.
Magneto too.
Magneto too, yeah, with a lot of iron, absolutely.
And y'all shooting me.
Boom. Boom, bitches. Oh, who the hell? Oh, god damn it. Got grabbed and then I got like... The balls were juggled. It was all bad.
Wait, who juggled your balls?
The mummies did. The zombies.
Wait, the mummies?
The zombies.
The zombies.
The zombies. The zombies juggled the testicles of the squirrel.
Hey, we can get across there.
I got it.
Oh, this time there was no big boy. There was no big boy. Oh, there's a big boy now. I can feel him. Was there a big boy or was it? No, it was just lag. Okay, never mind. It wasn't a big boy. It's just lag. Because I put the music and everything down, so I can't really like hear him coming. I can feel him coming more than anything.
here.
It Phil's here. Phil's here.
There's the bridge.
Ah, the bridge up ahead. Bridge over the River Kwai.
Crying girls around.
Fortunately for you, you did start the fire.
Yes.
Reloading.
Bitch! Oh, hey, we gotta set. Man, I'm a spitter shit.
Spitter goo.
Have to heal.
Come on, y'all get. Hey, can y'all cover me? Hey, we're gonna make it out of here.
Okay.
Spitter goo. But blood is what? Blood is made of. Blood does have a lot of iron, unless you're like me and have like had iron deficiency since I was small. My nails grew in a very weird way, cause we didn't. Well, I was anemic always apparently, but never anemic enough to get sick, which is, if that makes sense to you. Because I was right on the cusp of being anemic. I was like right on the line, so it was never. Whenever I did blood tests, I was never actually anemic. Until I gave blood.
Thank God I don't have that.
When I started donating blood. What?
Hello?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say when I started donating blood, I started getting like feeling really, really faint, lightheaded, lethargic. I went to go get blood tests done to see what was going on, and they told me themselves the doctor told me, yeah, you're not gonna give blood ever again. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, do I have a disease or something? It's like, no. The moment you give blood is the moment you're gonna be anemic again. You're like right on the level of like not being anemic, and to be, like, he looked back at all my blood tests. And it's like, yeah, you were always like right on that level of whether you were like gonna be anemic or not. You always, because you ate red meat and stuff like that, you never did become anemic. But now that you actually had blood taken out of your system like this, like pints of blood, you're anemic. And I was like, well, what can I do if I want to donate? It's like, well, there's plasma, there's platelets, there's other things you can give. Just don't give whole blood anymore, because it drops my iron way too low.
Alright, let's do this shit.
Fun fact, my mom actually has the opposite. She has too much iron in her blood.
That is weird.
Yeah, and it's genetic, so it's
so it would hit you too.
That I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it would also affect my sister.
Which, I mean, is not a bad thing, because like then really you don't have to worry about any of that.
Friday's the day I can't wait for Friday.
You don't have to worry about the blood moon becoming an issue.
Are you gonna watch it? Summer Game Fest?
Hopefully, hope it's gonna be a good Summer Game Fest. Like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it sucks.
I can't wait for the first December. It's gonna get a release date. Hopefully it's not the week of Elden Ring DLC. Hopefully not. Because it would be better. I would be sad. Just push it till July. That's it.
Yep.
This month is a no-no. There's Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 14 DLC, Elden Ring, and then Destiny.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, so hopefully they just push it to July, make it worth or so.
Hopefully they do.
Oh,
fuck you.
July
Fuck you,
is
I'm moving
Doki's
over here.
birthday. I forgot about that.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Ah, fuck you, fuck you! You found me, you stupid bitch!
Doki is the most American Canadian there is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Her birthday is the 4th of July.
Yep. Well, somehow I made it up here. Thank you. Somehow you made me... Like, somehow the freaking thing threw me up here. That's great.
Alright, let's go inside the Pell Heart. And let's do this.
Sequence break.
While it's doing that, I was like, I'm gonna heal myself.
Oh, water? Man.
Oh, fuck. Come on.
Someone's thirsty.
God damn it, I'm trying to get there. Wait.
I'm not thirsty for women, I'm thirsty for water.
I'm not thirsty for blood, but for water.
Blood and water. Salvaroni and cheese. Yes. People wanted to clap my cheeks for some reason. I don't know why.
You know what hits the spot as a good snack? Sava and what's it called? People think I have. It's basically a chip. Not a chip. I like that sound because that was good.
That was actually pretty fast. We got done in with like less than 3 minutes. Did you hear Twitch is changing the price of subs? Oh yeah, I freaking hate that. I freaking hate that Twitch is changing the price of subs. It's $1 more.
On the Discord.
But $1 more is can be too much for people.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a pale heart.
What's worse is that not everyone will be able to be notified because of Twitch's notoriously bad notification system.
Oh yeah. I mean, they tried notifying people just through Twitter. That's the way that they're trying to do it.
Yeah, basically. And the reason why it's not everywhere in the world is because of laws elsewhere. I know in Canada, in order for them to be able to raise the price, they need to properly inform every single Canadian user of the price increase via email long before they actually put it into action in order to allow people to cancel their subscriptions.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're not going to notify people with time enough to cancel the recurring subscriptions because it's going to be a recurring thing for people that are just have it as auto renew. That's going to be extra money that they may not have for auto renew. It's only going to be for tier 1, but still, tier 1 is technically usually used by the people who don't have very much money to begin with.
It's the most common tier.
Yeah. So that's going to hurt creators, I think, a lot more. But it's also going to hurt people who want to support their creators, because there are going to be some people who are going to be like, oh my God, I am so, I don't have enough money. I'm so sorry. All this kind of crap that's going to happen there. It's going to make them feel so guilty. And yeah, no, it's not going to be good.
I used to go there when I was a kid.
Wow.
Now we
Look
can
at
die
all
there
these
as
cars.
It's still a little funny for me because here in Canada, well, at least in my province, the price of a tier 1 sub on Twitch is $7.99 Canadian.
Oh, so it was already pretty high to begin with.
Yeah, it's already pretty high.
Is Canada going to be one of the regions that's going to have it raised up again?
It's not.
Okay, good.
It's not. It's US, New Zealand, and most European countries.
Well, I guess they feel we're rich enough. Shit. I hate when they feel that, when they do that kind of shit. Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch.
No,
fucking bitch. Fucking
Canadian
bitch.
users are actually going to be spared the increase, because the increase in Canada would not be a single dollar. That's for sure.
Good. That's very good. Can't go underneath. God damn it. I'm just fighting people because I want to. Because I'm not gonna continue doing this.
Oh, there's a chest over here. Let's see what we get. Fuck him up. Boss.
How the hell did they get all the way over there so quickly? Holy shit.
Nice.
There's a user called Homemade COVID Vaccine. That's his actual username.
Oh God.
Yes. That's his actual username.
Okay.
Twitch does give you, see, that's the one thing that Twitch does have. It has a lot more interaction, chat interaction. It's built in. YouTube is trying to do that. It's been doing that slowly, but it hasn't fully been able to implement it yet. Oh, fuck. Yep, I'm out. I landed on its head! Whoops! Whoops! That wasn't what I wanted. That was not what I wanted. Nope, come on, let me go! Let me go! Let me go!
Help, help!
There we go, offering.
I need some help!
Jiggly booty! Maybe jiggly booty? I don't know.
Help!
Oof. I'm dead. Yeah, they didn't want to save me at all. Holy shit, they didn't want to save me at all. Let's see. Yeah. Let's take a look. Or, okay. I am going to, what I'm going to do, I shot him first and then I leave. And then I quit that. And before I do that, actually, I'm gonna shut down this part here. And move over. And yeah, no, that wouldn't be good. Let's see. Which one are we gonna be doing? That, nope, not that one either. This one, here we go. Let's do window capture.
That's a shard of the traveler. Got going there.
Yes, there we go.
Collect. There we go.
Also, don't forget the chat box.
Oh yeah, the chat box always.
On the truth and
Yeah, no, that's, let's see. Chat box. There we go. Over here. All good. There we are. But of course. And here we go. I will be seeing you guys in the Discord soon, I guess tomorrow, probably most likely. Talk to you guys next time. Thank you for chilling and chatting with me. Really appreciate it.
Au revoir, chat.
Laters.
Bye-bye.
Fact, I have a small waist because high-waisted pants are normally very loose around my waist, even for those made for petite peoples. Let me just quit the freaking yes. There we are. And yeah, holy crap. Right on time, pretty much. Let's see. We can do one Tenma clip, probably.
Now I'm gonna take it. You've done this. This is kind of your own fault. Now I really want to do the test. I often use words for... Okay, this...
I'm a woman. Don't leave me. Upload date. Let's go. Oh, I remember this. We'll do this one. I don't have a thin waist.
Your mama.
Not at all.
Bongo nails as usual, my lady. Thank you, dear. I did them in with gel. You like? They're simple, though.
Simple's fine.
This one broke halfway, so I had to cut it off and do over it. Thank you, dear. Why are your clothes so long? What the f are you guys smoking? Hello? What the fuck? You call this long? Go to my first fucking streams of hand camera. I'll show you fucking long nails. Wait. I think this is the way you find them.
Yeah, they have this cute hands.
You see this?
Oh yeah, holy crap, those were long nails.
Those nails. They're not that long. That was a horrible hand camera angle. That's the fucking point, too. Make the people who fetishizes hands think this is sexy. What the fuck did I just kick away? Please cover your hands, Harlot.
Semi-retractable claws.
I shall go to the witch
Yeah, I'll
trial,
ask first.
and I shall curse the family. I hope your cows are gonna run out of milk, and I hope your crops shall rot. I hope they will dry down. And your daughter,
She is also a witch. I cast thee. Witch
These nuts.
Salens and ions. Yeah.
Catch these nuts.
You guys want to see my arm streak?
Oh wow, that's the crazy. Nope. She's a witch. She's a witch.
Then my nuts curse upon us.
Yes, she's a witch. She's a witch. Well, thank you again for the whole witch situation. I did not know that I needed to know about witches right now. Thank you. Ooh, let's see. Who is on? Wait, we can do, we can do that. Phase Invader? Nice. I mean, anybody, it's a sad girl company, so I'm not going to be able to join. But the sad girl company is going to be doing sad girl stuff, which is fine. Like I said before, I do appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate everything that you guys have been able to do for me. Chilling, chatting, everything that has been happening. I really do appreciate that. Because, of course, if it wasn't for you guys, I would just be a weirdo screaming into the void somewhere along these lines. Somewhere in the world. Appreciate you. As well, before we leave, always be kind to yourself. Remember that you matter. Remember that you are someone. You are beautiful. No, I'm kidding. Every single thing you've reached, every single goal that you have reached, whether it has been half reached, partly reached, big goal, small goal, they all matter. They're all important. You are important for getting to that part, getting to where you are now. You're a fighter. You're just amazing. Remember that. Remember that you're important to a lot of people, myself included. I hope that you have a wonderful night, a wonderful Wednesday night, Thursday morning, whichever one it is in your area. Please take care of yourself. Hydrate. Get something to eat if you haven't eaten yet. Everything. Just make sure you take care of yourself. Thank you so much. We're going to be going for a Twitch raid to someone that I haven't raided in a bit. And then we're going to be going to someone else. Let's see. We're going to be raiding this person, which is always good to raid. And we're going to be raiding someone from someone who's doing Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. So let's see where they are. Let's see if they're actually finishing Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. We will see. If we end up being one of those moments where you end up getting to the final of like the final countdown, final moment, whatever, then yeah, we're going to do that. Anyways, take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Doing the last thing, of course, of Arara Mama. Be well. Take care of yourselves. And always, remember, you are wonderful people. You're going to have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.